Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Go until you're out of sight and you're out of my mind. Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Floating as the river flows, easy as it goes to the ocean. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never tried. Secrets in your eyes. You go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart, heart. Breaks my heart, 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 heart. Breaks my heart, 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 heart. Breaks my heart, heart, heart. Breaks my heart. Lost in the midnight blue shadows of the moon. Here with open arms for you, feeling something so new. Said with me you'd reach the sun. Oh, but we were so young. Love me till the summer's done, but keep me in your heart, so I hold on. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never tried. Secrets in your eyes. You go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart. Colors of the sky, colors of the sky. Breaks my heart. All I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. But all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. All I see is colors of the sky. to the ground now, and somehow I feel like you don't know me. Shook me to the ground now, I don't even know how. Brought me to a life that you never showed me. Coming from a locked up ghost, I'll be yourself. But you're coming from the light. There's more to you than you ever thought there was. Yeah, you're coming from the light.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Resorty, back from Osaka, and to you, one and all, I say, hello, friends. Welcome. How's it going? Hope you're having a very, very good day. It has been a busy weekend, but I'm very happy to be here with you once more. My apologies for being started a little bit late today. I had to get the slideshow set up. The weekend slideshow needs care and attention. Can't just throw random pictures here and there. Gotta think about a narrative arc, etc. That's the kind of content you deserve here on twitch.tv/Resorty, and that you get. Also, briefly, I saw myself on screen. I do a lot of hand gesturing, don't I? A lot of very big gestures. I don't know what to say about that other than I hope you are entertained by my gestures. Sci-Fi Sansi, it's good to see you today. Axix, how's it going? Sakutero, welcome. Hello to Silent. Hello to Jim. How's it going, Geeter Druid? I think you're absolutely right that before stream begins, I do a tremendous amount of hyping myself up. I put on some death metal. I do a lot of very deep breathing exercises, something like that. I'm definitely a hand talker. See, here's the thing. I don't think I'm actually a hand talker off of stream. I'm relatively sure I don't gesture all that much. When teaching, I probably gesture quite a bit also. But definitely when it comes to, streaming and teaching, there's a lot of very large gestures. I don't know why. Like, am I emphasizing points? Like, now I feel self-conscious about it, and so I'm just, like, including very unusual movements, but who knows? Hey, Jim, thank you so much for the continuing subscription. I appreciate it, a whole bundle. That tier 2 sub, giving you access to all those fine, I don't know, silver versions of the same emotes. I apologize. Hopefully I get some better emotes for tier 2 eventually, but thank you very much indeed for your generosity in supporting an old channel right here. How's it going, Old Beard? How's it going, Stun? How's it going today, Game Urchin? Welcome. So nice to see you all. Marks, hi. If I missed anybody, I apologize. It's not a slight against you. It's an insufficiency in me. But I'm feeling wonderful today. So as I mentioned, we got a big old slideshow ready to go in just a bit. I'm going to show you some pictures of all the things we did this weekend. There's going to be some poetry. There's going to be some vulgarity. There's going to be some consideration of the concept of time. Can you believe it? All of this and more on today's Resorty show. Before then, though, let's get you a quick story from this past weekend's teaching. So Friday I taught as I usually do, and the topic of the day was various forms of like social control, including censorship and so on. A super interesting topic that's always great for discussing in a multicultural classroom because students have very strongly held beliefs that go in very different directions. My American students will just slam the table and say free speech over and over again, where my students from China will definitely say you should not allow useless speech to be published. And then we ask, of course, what's useless speech? Oh, good fun. Anyway, a great topic. Now, on Friday, I was supposed to have some high school students join me. And these are not international school high school students. These are standard Japanese high school students who have above average English scores. So one of the perks of being an especially good English student in the Japanese high school system is you get a free tour of a university like my university, a place where you can go take English classes, or classes in English rather. And very often these high school students realize that though they are very, very, very good at high school English taught in the Japanese system, there's a tremendous jump between that and being able to understand any kind of classroom, and especially a classroom like mine. We're dealing with fairly technical issues at a relatively high conceptual level, so I always feel a little bad for them. Anyway, they were supposed to be there, supposed to be 4 of them there as class began. But at 1:40 or so, there were no extra students, and so I asked the class if they could wait a little bit, and they were amenable to that, so we did wait for a few minutes more, and then no extra students, so we just got to it. We began teaching the class, doing the discussions, all fun, all fun, all fun. After about 20 minutes or so, a student showed up, and so apparently her tour had gone a little bit late. No problem. Welcome to the class. She introduced herself just fine, thank you. Then before too long, it was time for us to break up into some small groups and to discuss particular topics I wanted them to talk about. And before that, I went to the Japanese high school student and said, "Hi, would you like to take part in small group discussion?" I'm relatively sure she understood no parts of that sentence, but I went ahead and put her into a small group with some students who I knew were very affirming, very friendly, and would try to include her in the conversation. And so I did, and apparently they tried, and nope, there was no conversation going on that time. So I'm really not quite sure what she got out of the class, but that was fun. During that small group discussion, the other 3 students showed up. They ended up showing up about 30 minutes late, and again, very sad, they don't get the whole class, etc. And they came in, they joined the classroom, no problem. I should mention here, these are all young women. I should mention here that Japanese culture is very conservative. I should mention here they're all dressed in like the standard Japanese schoolgirl uniform, so they really stand out as being high school students. All right, so the small group discussion ends. I go to the first question I had them discuss, which is just what are some examples of censorship for us to talk about. Pros and cons, what kind of values and ideals do we describe by thinking through these censorship examples? And so student number 1, hand in the air immediately. It's an American man. I say, sure, what's up? And he says, pornography. Now, fine. I don't mind discussing sexuality with my students. I don't mind discussing porn, whatever. But these adorable little high school students, here we go. You want an English language American style class, you get an English language American style class. And man, it was fine. They didn't engage at all the way through. I kind of sort of wonder and worry what they're going to say when they get back to their high schools. But I didn't see any way to smooth that one or to present it more carefully. Wait till I get the email from the dean. It is possible. It is possible. That said, I can definitely say I was using good pedagogical practices by taking seriously the things that my students do and so on. Have you learned the word pornography at school? That's a very good question. I summarized it immediately to be descriptions and presentations of sexual content meant to not inform but to arouse, and so hopefully they understood some of that. But yeah, we discussed that topic for about 10 minutes. Different students offered different positions on it, and I at various points before the students got there, I thought, all right, I want to give these high school students some experience in the classroom, so I might try to come up with some very, very easy questions to turn and ask them on the topic we're discussing. but once it was on that topic, no. They just got to sit there and that's fine. So I'll probably get some feedback at some point on how they enjoyed the class. I hope it's just some like boilerplate comment of, they were glad to visit your classroom and thank you for the opportunity. I also got another request to have some high school students visit in a few weeks, and I wrote back saying, "Fine, no problem at all. Happy to help out there." And I then looked on the syllabus, and the syllabus day is various forms of sacrificing one's desires for the common good. And we all do this. Some in like really explicit ways, like I'm going to go fight and die for my country. Others in minor ways, like gosh, I want to sit on the couch, but the kids need feeding right now. So not just huge topics. But as part of this conversation, I'm planning to show part of a recent movie that won one big Academy Award last year called Plan 75. And I think it's a great movie because it's a Japanese film, and I figured it talks about Japanese topics. And so, the high schoolers will be coming on the day when we discuss, wouldn't it be great if the old people all, euthanize themselves? Why do the high school students come on these days? Not the days about like, hey, isn't family great? Why don't they come on days about like, hey, let's think about how science works? So, I said this directly in the email to the admissions counselors. If they don't want the students visiting my class, that's fine, but I think they've chosen me because I have fairly good evaluations among the faculty, and that's awesome. Glad to put on a good show, but no, not for the adorable little high schoolers. Oh well. Random, I'm sorry, I have no idea on that. I know some books on pedagogy, but nothing particularly directed towards the youngest people. I can look something up for you. I have an idea of where to go, but yeah, if you put a message on the Discord, that's probably better for a question about pedagogy and youngsters. I know some books on pedagogy for adults, for college students, but haven't really read into kids stuff at all, unfortunately. Okay, so that's my one big story from Friday. After Friday's class was done, we decided to begin our weekend fun. Normally when my class is done, I go to Nam's office and sit and wait for her until she's done, and oftentimes I'm waiting there for, a half hour, an hour or so. It's fine. This time, though, she was ready to go before I got there, which I appreciate a whole bundle. So the first thing we did in heading to our there we go. There we go. Our Osaka slideshow weekend, here it comes. The first thing we did was find our way to the Shinkansen. The Shinkansen is the bullet train, and look how, amazingly, developed the front of that thing is. I'm used to various, American trains, which are, I don't know, big boxy looking things. That is sleek. It is beautiful. And golly gosh, it goes so darn fast. Last time Nams took the Shinkansen, this is my first time, but last time Nams took the Shinkansen, she said that the experience of being on it is very, very similar to when one's on an airplane and preparing to take off. The entire time, it feels like the world's going by that fast. You feel a tiny bit of pressure pushing you back, though not as much as an airplane. But it's that way for 2.5, 3 hours in our case, which was frankly amazing. And the other thing to say about it is on Fridays, these trains go every 3 or 4 minutes. Also on Sunday afternoon, because there are a whole bundle of people who work in Tokyo and stay inside of very, very small apartments here. And then on the weekends, they home to their families who live in the other bigger, much cheaper cities around Japan. And so, yeah, that very long card there has 16 cars. And I'll show you a picture inside of a car in just a moment here. But 16 cars, and they, fill up entirely every 3 minutes and just and the way in which the platforms are organized is so amazing. They have really clear areas where when it's time for your train to come, or they'll be coming in 2 minutes, you line up in this little tape area on the ground, and you stand there. And then the train comes, and you have genuinely about a minute to get on. And if you're not on, bye! There's a big Hollywood movie a couple years back called, or maybe last year, called Bullet Train. And part of the shtick of the Bullet Train movie is every time the train stops at a platform, the characters can get off the train for just a moment or two. And it really is that way. The local trains in Japan, though they run on a schedule, usually do pause for a while to make sure that people who are working their way down the staircases or trying to buy a drink real fast before getting on can get on the train. Where here it's, if you're not on, bye, catch the next one. But it's pretty crazy. Are the rails different here? I actually don't know. I actually don't know much about how these trains are actually propelled. I think they're beautiful. I think they're interesting, but I don't know much about how it's laid out or anything else. How fast the trains run, I don't recall. I know last time we talked about the upcoming Maglev train, which will be debuted next year, that goes 375 miles an hour, but I don't recall how fast Shinkansen goes, though it is much faster than I've ever been in a train before, because in the US, the train speed limit is in the 70s, I believe, so it was much, much faster. 300 kilometers per hour. Sordin, thanks for knowing that. Yeah, it was real fast. So there's the outside of the train. Yeah, it was a little stressful to get there because we were going during rush hour, and the place where this took off, which is Shinagawa, is not right near where we live. So we had to take a train into the big middle hub of Shibuya, and then another train out from there to Shinagawa, and then got onto that thing, and man, it went zoom. I think it stopped at 4 or 5 places on the way, mostly just the big cities, before eventually getting to Shin Osaka, and we'll get to that in a little bit. For now, though, here it is from the inside. This is not my photo, but it is basically the same as what we saw. There is indeed a person who pushes a cart throughout all 16 cars of the train, offering snacks and drinks and so on for a reasonable price. Unfortunately, on the way to our train out, we didn't have time to stop at a little restaurant or store. Some people in chat mentioned the idea of Shinkansen bentos. Yes, indeed, at the big stations, they have these pre-prepared meals that are very, very popular. When you get on, people will pull down their little tray table and set out their dinner and a beer and just have a really nice meal hanging out there. So yeah. So and if you don't get it, you can then get something from the cart. I got a little coffee drink and a canister of what's called Chipstar. Chipstar is the local brand of Pringles, and they're mighty tasty, especially when you haven't eaten since lunch. So that was that. Hello, Brassy. Hope I enjoyed my adventure. I did. Thank you. I wish you had these in the States. Yeah. Definitely in the US, I've enjoyed taking the Amtrak. I like the Amtrak quite a bit. I like trains quite a bit. But I know there's been some discussion of building a really fast train between Chicago and St. Louis, which would have been a help for me back when I lived that part of the world. But yeah, so it's a nice train. The seats don't feel super cramped, definitely less cramped than an airplane. I could stretch out my legs, which felt pretty darn good. Free Wi-Fi. I mentioned this on the Discord, but yeah, free Wi-Fi that was super reliable all the way through. They have a pretty clear message about you're welcome to use it for whatever you want to. Just if you download or upload big files, they'll definitely rate limit you, but you'll still be able to use it. And so the whole way there and back, I could work on grading papers, and it was just nice. It was nice. I know that not every city and nation have free Wi-Fi for users of their services, but this one does, and that made me delighted. All right, one request from a fine viewer named I Do Not Exist Either. From last time was when going to a new place, one should learn some poetry about the place. This will help with one's language skills and also give a sense of the place. I didn't spend terribly long looking for the poem, but I went ahead and looked up a poem from one of the great haiku masters, Basho. And apparently he wrote this poem while inside of Osaka. And yeah, we did not actually go and see this monument, but on that monument in the middle is actually the Basho poem. And so I said I would read a poem to get us started in the Osaka feelings. I will do that. And then, my friends, I also wrote a poem for you, a poem about my trip, and I hope you're looking forward to that for sure. So here comes a poem, and I'm going to put it on the screen because I did not memorize it. Now, it's a haiku, which means it's supposed to be 5 syllables and 7 syllables and 5 syllables. And We'll see if my reading matches the syllables. If not, I look forward to you making fun of me. But what it is Unao Hanaya Kurakiyana Gino Oyo Bigoshi, which means Deutsia. Okay, so I didn't know what this was at all, so I had to pull it up and I'll show you now also, which is this. It's a kind of flower. So this kind of flower, over its dark, a willow, bending back. There we go. Apparently Basho was in Osaka, saw a flower with a little willow tree over top of it, and decided to write about that. There we go. A poem about the beauty of nature to be found in Osaka. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Now, I wrote a poem also, and this poem is my experience of Osaka. It is not about nature at all. Here we go. Land of motorbikes, riotous Canadians. Osaka is loud. It is so ridiculously loud in Osaka compared to Tokyo. I knew this going in, but I did not expect it to be quite so bad. So Osaka is the second city of Japan, assuming you count Yokohama as part of Tokyo, and people there have a very, very different attitude towards public spaces. Here in Tokyo, though there are so very many of us, we don't really talk in public. We don't really make noise in public, generally speaking. Holy cow, the Osakaites. Here's my first story about how loud they were. Or not how loud, how different they are. Then we'll get to how loud they are. When we were getting on the local train from the Shinkansen into Osaka proper, we got on the train as one normally does, and then the doors began closing, and from the door I hear, I'll just say it, a grandmother, I think, like definitely someone in her 70s or 80s go, "Ie," which is no, while jamming her foot into the door. And so the door is closing, that there's signs everywhere saying, "Don't put your body parts into the train door, it will rip off." Nope, she just kicked straight into it. And yeah, so she got on and then began making a speech to everyone nearby about how there's no respect for the elderly these days. And people were talking back to her. Where in Tokyo, we just kind of ignore people who make public speeches. But it's super dangerous. Yeah, but she did that. And then we pulled into the local stop. And as we got off the train, which is, in this case, the train was down multiple levels below the street, we heard the sound of thunder. Wait, it's supposed to rain a little bit. Why is it so noisy? And then we start climbing up the various stairs. And as we get to the central ticket gate, we hear, oh, that's not thunder. Is that a wood chopper? Like, is someone at like 9 p.m. putting logs through some giant chipper? And we get outside. No, it's a man, just one guy, with the loudest motorcycle I have ever heard in my life. Now, I grew up in the Midwest US, land of Harley Davidson and such. People wear shirts that say things like "loud pipes save lives," fine, whatever. This thing, though, had, I don't know if engines to explain it, but some kind of exhaust return that went up over his head, and this like strange machine hanging in the sky on top of his motorbike would just like, and it was crazy. And there was a police officer, and he just ignored it. So it was so loud. And then throughout the evening, people would like race up and down the drags on their very loud motorbikes, and it was just crazily, crazily loud by comparison with Tokyo. So that's that. Now, many of you asked the second part, why did I mention riotous Canadians? Okay. So one thing we were told about Osaka is it has very good food. But that first night we didn't want to do anything too adventuresome. We were pretty tired, wanted to get to bed, etc. And so we went ahead and stopped at a place that's been recommended to us, a little pizza place called Slices Osaka. That's kind of a small picture. I did not take this picture. It was just late when we got there. But if we were to zoom in, and golly gosh, why don't we do this? If we were to zoom in on this picture, you will see inside the label for Slices is a little Canadian flag. So it's run by a Canadian couple who were very, very sweet, I'm sure. But they had the place packed on a Friday night. And it is the first place that Noms has walked into in Japan. And Noms, my wife, is Japanese, looks it, speaks it. She walked in, and the waitstaff greeted her with, "Hey, what's up?" So, hyper casual, and also just in English. And I was not in the room yet, so they did not know that I was in tow. It appears to be a place that is really just for people who speak English, and it was so crowded with, I think, more or less exclusively English speakers. And some of them were English, some were Americans, some were Canadians, and I don't know. I have no idea why they were all there and why they were so loud. And they did the thing that happens in the US. Maybe this happens where you're from also. They did the thing that happens in the US, which is when the room begins to get a little bit loud and you have trouble hearing, you just get louder. And so the volume kept spiraling up and up and up all evening long. Now, with that said, the pizza was very good. If you want to, you can order a whole pizza pie. You can order a slice of pizza. I ended up having a gorgonzola pizza, which is sort of a standard cheese slice with bits of blue cheese put into it. Very tasty. I also had a slice of, I think they call it the legit pizza, and it has some fairly hot chili peppers on it. Very, very good. But it was not a nice place to be. It was really, really unpleasant. And I think I realized at this point, oh, I'm getting old. Like, the fact of it is, I'm just getting old. I could still hear Noms, and Noms could still hear me, but it was rough. You like the bikes from the no bike sign? Yeah, there are lots of no bike signs in Japan. They're largely ignored. Though there are laws about where to park one's bike, there are just so many bikes that I think a lot of people entirely ignore them and are just willing to put their bicycles absolutely wherever. So, yeah, trying to decide like which laws are actually enforced here and which aren't is very, very challenging for this expat. And so I just follow all the laws, so I'm afraid of being deported, of course. What else to say about Slices? Oh, here's one thing. Do you ever see someone or meet someone and say to yourself, I think that might have been me, and not in a good way? So, one of the very, very loud groups had, I don't know, I don't want to put this in the wrong way. Someone who belongs on Twitch, let's just put it that way, like, clearly a gamer, and clearly someone who is just lacking in social skills. And it was unfortunate. And he'd had a couple drinks, and he decided that the best way to use his couple drinks was to approach some very sweet young lady who did not want to talk with him other than, hey, how's it going? And try really, really, really hard to compliment her enough that she will give him the time of day. And with the way the place was set up, she couldn't easily get away from him. And so over the course of, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes, he swung and missed on starting a conversation over and over again. And like I said, I saw myself in this person. Because I think for me, when I was in moments like that, it was always, I just haven't found the right topic yet. Surely there's some topic I can bring up where this person will then want to have a conversation. I never had the moment of this person actually doesn't want to talk with me in particular, because I figured they would just say that. Like, if a person doesn't say, please go away, or I'm not into talking, I assume, oh, they're in a bar, they want to talk, and so it was a very sad moment for the little guy. and it was rough. Perta asked him a question. This guy he was trying, so he was telling them stories, but he was asking questions like, so what brought you to Japan? And she'd say, work. So what do you do for work? An office. And so she was just like very, very quick answers, shutting it down over and over again. So it was not good on all sides. And yeah, learning to like read cues is something I was incredibly bad at, and I think he was also incredibly bad at. And like there was no maliciousness there. He wasn't being cruel. He wasn't being mean. He wasn't being abusive. He just didn't understand the social situation. And like I said, this is my 20s, and I remember many nights like that. So it's how it goes. As far as slices, they also had poutine. Apparently the best poutine outside Canada, they claimed. And we did not get that. We tried some what they called nacho poutine. Which was not good. It was French fries with some salsa dumped on top, and then 4 or 5 little black olives. And I don't know what I expected, but it's surely not that. It was not good. I didn't even have cheese, honestly. It was just not good at all. All right, so that's that. Here comes the vulgarity. Let me go ahead and show you this collection of bumper stickers. These and signs and shirts like these were all throughout the city. If you're someone who is a little bit sensitive about these things, here we go. There you go. Everywhere. My sense is that Osaka, or at least the English-speaking community of Osaka, has a profound little brother complex. I understand that Tokyo is like the big city with all the amazing things, but it comes out as like out and out hostility. I lived for a very long time in part of Illinois that was not Chicago, and man alive, it was like this often. All anyone cares about in Illinois is Chicago. But they were quite displeased about the business that is Tokyo, and we did not mention we're from Tokyo. At one point, someone did ask, "Where are you guys from?" And we said Nebraska, and that was fine. But yeah, it was pretty strong language there. My goodness. Also, apparently, I just talked through an ad. My apologies. I would usually stop on that, but I missed it entirely. So yeah, Osaka's fun. It's a fun place, but a very, very loud place. Somewhere that's like nice to visit, but way too loud for me to live long term. Okay, at the end of that time at Slices, it was pretty late. We were feeling pretty good, and so we went ahead back to the hotel room. Noms had gotten the hotel room, and if there's one thing you know about Noms, is that she likes a deal. And so we went to one of the big hotels in Tokyo, and or not Tokyo, sorry, Osaka, downtown Osaka. And Noms had gotten a special deal on a little room, and emphasis on little room because this is our hotel room. So, behind where the photo's taken from, there is a small bathroom, emphasis on small. It's one of the delightful Japanese bathrooms that is the all-in-one, namely the toilet room and the shower room are one thing, and then also between the two of these, there's the sink, and so you have a main water pipe that is can be turned in one direction for the sink and the other direction for the shower, and it's just really cramped. And as a larger human being, it was a little difficult getting around the bathroom, especially. What's in the round corner by the bed? The round corner by the bed? I'm not quite sure what you're referring to there. Oh, you mean the wall? Yeah, it probably is the neighbor's bathroom. Yeah, absolutely right. Is there a microwave in there? No, there was a little fridge in the room. That said, you have to turn on the fridge with a switch. And one night, Noms got ice cream, and we did not realize you had to turn on the freezer. And I said, "Doesn't feel super cold. I'm sure it's fine." And in the morning, she had milk soup, good old milk soup. So, this room was not super great. It was a pretty tight bed for the night, and It was fine. It was fine. Because it's just for sleeping, except for the part where the next morning Noms took off for a big ceremony, and I spent 6 hours sitting in that room doing my grading, doing some reading. It was fine. It was not the world's greatest room, but it was cheap. It was okay. No problems at all. The bed looks like sushi. Oh, it does. Yeah, with that seaweed and then also the rice white paper. I wonder if that's intentional. I like the taste of sushi. Man, I like sleeping in sushi. Perhaps. As I mentioned, in the morning, Noms went to the ceremony. This is why she was, why we were in Osaka at all was for her work. We made a weekend of it. And so she includes a picture here for you. This is the train she rode on. That's right, the Super Mario Brothers train. And all throughout Japan, there are various character-based trains. There are Hello Kitty trains and Sonic the Hedgehog trains. There you go, your very own Super Mario Brothers train. Unexpectedly, absolutely delightful. Was the internet good at the hotel? Absolutely, Klaus. Yeah, the internet was stable and fine, and I could escape into my computer all the way. It was just a bit cramped, But yeah, it was very nice to have that picture. Noms was delighted to send it to me right away. She then went to a ceremony for the 100th anniversary of some school's founding, and it was very, very, very busy and very, very, very long. About 3.5 hours, of which most of it was speeches. They did have a traditional Japanese dance and drum number, and she'll have photos from that, I think, on Saturday when next she's on stream. And she said it was a fine experience, except there were a whole bunch of people who asked her where she was from, expecting some portion of Japan, and she said the US, and they'd say, oh, but your English is so good. Or not English, right? Your Japanese is so good. And it's the same conversation over and over again, as often happens at these different places. So that was that. Then she got back, and we decided to do a little bit of touring that evening. Our first bit of touring was to sort of the #1 tourist spot in Osaka. If you're going to go there, you're probably going to go to this place. It's called the Osaka Castle. We began with a little map of the place, a little picture taken, or not picture, a little drawing made a very long time ago. You'll see there that it is a actual, factual castle. And as I was walking through it, I had all these moments of, oh, I've seen this kind of thing in a video game. And so it has moats, it has various kinds of bridges and turns and all the rest to allow one to defend the property all the way up. And speaking of those moats, there's two kind of moats there. One is the watery kind, and there were no fish inside that water at all. Or at least we didn't see any. Now I understand that the water is cut off. It is just standing water as opposed to flowing water. It doesn't have any kind of pond scum on it. Makes me think they'd probably do some kind of treatment. But there you go. And then also dry moats. So the outer moat is water. The inner moat is dry, and just like this tremendous hole in the ground between the outer walls and the inner walls. And in the middle there, you see people are climbing up nicely. They'd have a kill box. I mean, it seemed that way, right? Absolutely seemed that way. That you would understand how to defend this position and make all the enemies come from this one position. And throughout it, Noms kept insisting, kept saying, I can imagine, like, climbing up the backside. I could be a sneaky person and climb in. It's not defensible. And it was very funny hearing her talk about how she would defeat the people of long ago Osaka. So it's that. In the middle of that picture, you do see the ramp into the center area, the inner bailey, perhaps. And so here's a picture of that from straight on. There you go. So it's a nice long climb. They haven't done anything to improve accessibility here. Inside the very center, there is an elevator into a museum building. But yeah, it's a long slog. That said, they had some carts, like extended golf carts, I guess, where you fit probably 10 people into them. They were encouraged to be used by people who didn't have great mobility, whether elderly or physically different. And on the walk down, I very much want to take one of those. And yeah, with Data's castle's construction, we'll get to that in just a moment. It's a fun story. So the path up there, and then we have a close-up picture of the gate, a little closer. And then as you get up to the top there, you'll notice on the right-hand side and left-hand side both, there is holes on the wall. These are gun ports. They were reconstructed in a period where guns were around. And so we get closer, we'll see those also. Probably traditionally there was an area for archers to shoot out of, but not anymore. We then see here's the gate from the inside. It's a real big gate. Also, I do apologize for the photos having other people in them. There was no way to avoid that. Oh, did I actually skip a person I want to talk about? One moment. Is it this one here? Yeah, look at that guy on the right-hand side. I don't know if he was, like, posing for me or what, but he's, like, mid-step jaunty. So, I'm not sure if he was, like, out for a march or if he quickly changes his pace when he saw us taking a picture. But he's my favorite human so much. Okay? Yeah, so these various kind of gate ports and so on. On the inside, we can see there's a little set of stairs up to those holes, and then Noms went ahead and took some photos of what it is to look out. This one does not have great vision. You can imagine ducking down behind that wall a little bit to see where you're aiming, and there's an even smaller version of the same for just pointing right out there. And so you can see how it would be defended. Very cool stuff. And then eventually you get to the inner central area, the inner courtyard. It's a very large courtyard with multiple buildings, but the main attraction is in the middle of it, that huge castle building. And those of you who know the secret, let's keep it quiet, but the original castle was built in the 1500s, and that's a really amazing thing. And that castle there, 1500s, and so Noms was just delighted, right? Saying things like, oh man, what is it to even imagine a building here from well before the founding of the U.S. Man, the U.S., we think about old things like 1800 or so, really old. In Japan, this is a fairly new building in some measure, but yeah, 1500 or so. And as you get a little closer in, you can see more and more of that original castle. You can see that golden accent marks throughout, very traditional style there. Go up and up and up, there you go. And then, after looking at and appreciating that large castle, we found this didactic, this little poster about what this place is. It might be hard to read, so I'll read it to you. The center of the castle is called Homamaru, and in the case of Osaka Castle, the government palace was situated in Hamaru. The palace, built in the Totomi period, burned down in 1615 during the Summer War of Osaka. Later in the Tokugawa shogunate, rebuilt the castle together, but the palace was burned to ashes in 1880. Is that 3? During the civil wars of the Meiji Restoration. In 1835, or 1885, a part of the palace in Wakayama Castle was moved to this place. It was called Kishu Gotan Mansion, but this mansion too was burned in 1947. The final lovely ancient castle that we saw was built, I believe, in 2007. 2007, such an ancient, interesting building. During the the period after the penultimate burning, the area was converted to being a munitions factory. Apparently at some point, like 60,000 Japanese people worked inside the castle making munitions. And so when the 1940s came along, you can imagine how that went. As always, we do not talk about why things burned down in the 40s. Just things burned down in the 40s sometimes. Who knows why? So, yeah, so old. But pretty cool anyway. All right. As we're thinking about older things and newer things, we found a absolutely fantastic inclusion here, right? Something that is making us not think about the past, but the future also. And so it's this raised thing in the middle of the area there. It was put up in the 1970s for the 1970s Expo. They had a big cultural exhibition in Osaka thinking about the role of technology into the future. And then you get closer up and you realize, oh, golly gosh, it's actually a time capsule. It's a gigantic time capsule. It's made to preserve itself against all kinds of dangers, including fires, I'm sure. And yeah, here's the sign for it. And it's hard to read, so I'll just describe it in general. On the right-hand side there, you'll see that it's a deep pit with 2 different time capsules inside. And each of the time capsules has more than 2,000 cultural artifacts inside of it. And then around the time capsule cylinder, there's concrete and sand and all the finest in Japanese engineering to keep it safe. It was buried in 1970, like I said. The upper time capsule is is requested to be opened every 100 years. So they opened it initially in the year 2000 to see what's inside there. And there's a listing online of all the cool stuff they left. Now, from the 70s until 2000, not so long. They're going to open the upper one every 100 years all the way through. The lower one, they've requested to be open in 5,000 years. When I first read it, I said, 500 years, right? No, 5,000 years. In the year 6070, they intend to open this thing. And it is so hard for me to understand what that even means. And so it got me thinking in a big way about, the various kinds of, they called even, time capsule I've heard about, in the US. So often are, open in 30 years, open in 50 years, maybe even open in 100 years. I've never heard of anything trying to project that far into the future. It got me thinking, immediately, something like, 6970, I was 1970, my apologies for not doing math and stealing 900 years off a thing. It got me thinking, on the one hand, super cynical guy, haha, the world won't exist then, humans will all be dead. But, what a beautiful, beautiful moment that is to say, we are giving a gift to a future that we believe will be there. That's so cool. And, it might be ridiculous, but actually believing and hoping enough about that far forward is just crazy. Crazy. So I hope it's still here. I realize that none of us will see it, but it's for me, the ultimate example of people believing in the future. And now, definitely in the 1970s, Japan was still thinking in a really big way about the atomic bombing. And the expo in the 70s was meant to be about peace and finding ways to use technology for productive purposes. One of the companies that sponsored this machine, this time capsule machine, is now Panasonic. And so one of the big technology conglomerates. And what a beautiful hope that is. They were all around. But we'll see. 5,000 years ago is the start of written human history. It's true. It is a tremendously long time in the future. Beyond what we can possibly think. But I love it. I absolutely love how it's going to go. And I hope it's around. I hope they open up every 100 years and remember how things were back then. I didn't actually have time to go through the list of stuff inside. But I know some of it is messages of hope and so on. Some of it is messages of here's what we were doing at the time and what we want this to mean for you and all the rest. And that's really, really cool. You wonder why 5,000 years? It might be because what was said a moment ago about that being roughly when we know about written human history beginning. And so thinking about the past, that far into the future, but I don't know. Once you get past 1,000 years, why not 20,000 years? But I'm actually considering trying to learn more about this one and learn about why did they decide to do this at all? What was the aim behind it? What were the people hoping for? Was it a joyous moment putting it down there, or a solemn moment thinking about the possibilities of atomic destruction? I don't know. We'll see what it is. But could know. 5,000 years is way too long. It's a beautiful thing. It's possible they don't believe it'll be opened. I don't know. But I don't want to say they're doing it wrong. I want to say it was a really nice and interesting thing. And that's pretty good. All right, so there's our time at the castle there. There was a second museum in the castle area. It was kind of like a shopping mall thing with lots of different small museums. And that was, it was lovely. But part of that I wanted to go into for you, my friends, but it was closed by the time we got to that part of the show. And so behold the Figure Museum. And I'll zoom this one in for you a little bit more. And you'll see there the kind of figures they have are sure the traditional anime folks, but also apparently Hindu statues with all the arms, and then various American things, little sharks and all the rest. That's right, why not take a look at all the little tiny figures? So, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. Maybe next visit we'll do that one. That said, I'm never going back to Osaka. Never, ever, ever. Okay, after that was done, Noms was interested in going to a place that's, I don't know. It's a really popular place in Osaka. It's a street food and street shopping area that you'll see gets pretty crowded. So I don't know what it's called, but it starts with a D if you want to look it up. And yeah, it's just this a nice street that on both sides has lots and lots of stores, lots and lots of inducements to go buy stuff. Night market, kinda, though it isn't selling much other than food. But yeah, night market's a fair way of talking about for sure. As part of the inducement to get people to come in, many of the different buildings will have indications of the things they sell there. And not just the standard banner, but if you look in the upper right-hand corner of that photo, you'll see some little orange pieces. What are those orange pieces? Oh yes, it's a giant crab. So, this giant crab is mechanized. Over the course of about 30 seconds, it kicks all of its little legs around and grabs at stuff, and surely they have the greatest crab in all of Osaka. You know, and then past that, there's the giant dragon staring down. I doubt they serve dragon there, but, you know, who knows? Dragon's very happy to see you. That one also does kick its head from side to side. And then there's this one, which struck me as being vaguely racist, but I'm not sure. It's the sushi chef. And the sushi chef will make some sushi for you, looking very, I think, displeased. I'm not sure what his situation is, but yeah, all the way along there are so many different indications of here's stuff you can buy. We ended up buying some strawberries on a stick that were glazed in a hard sugar that were really tasty and quite cheap too. So that was a nice thing. Now, as we continued along, the place got darker and darker as night was coming more and more, and with the darkness also came the busyness. Now, many of you know I'm not a huge fan of crowds, and before long, this thing was pure crowd. People absolutely everywhere, shoulder to shoulder, jostling forward very, very slowly. There's not really a food court area, so if you had your food to eat, you would kind of just like walk to the middle and stand there, and this led to these like clots of humanity here, there, and everywhere. And Noms very sweetly took my hand and decided we would continue walking along. It's mostly urban Japan. It's not, though. See, most of urban Japan, there's nice open sidewalks and people are walking along. In this one, like this is the last photo I took. It got even worse to the point it was just bodies pushing really against everybody. The only place that my experience is normally this crowded is on trains during rush hour. Like trains during rush hour in Tokyo, are as packed as they can be. They have people who will push in more people. But no, day-to-day in Tokyo is not. There are a lot of people, but not this bad. But yeah, it got worse and worse. So Noms took my hand and said, okay, let's find some food. Now, unfortunately, the food on the street was almost all, is that right? Yeah, almost all fish-based. So octopuses and fish, shrimp, and so on. And fish shrimp, that's right, shrimp food and so on. And we don't really eat fish at all. And yeah, so we had to find somewhere else to go. And so Noms used her little iPhone to figure out a place to visit. And we found a gyoza restaurant. It had some vegetarian stuff. On the walk over there, we found a lovely little hotel. I don't know who these people are. I should probably look it up. It is one of the most strange things I've seen recently, but I really wonder how we would have been to stay at that hotel. If it has weird insides on the outside, then definitely we could have checked that one up. Definitely. Living in Japan while eating fish sounds difficult. We've given up on avoiding like meat broths. It's just not doable. But yeah, we try to avoid eating hunks of flesh if possible. So it is what it is. But it's worked out really well so far. Tokyo is a city with basically everything in it, so we have no problems at all. All right, we then got to the gyoza restaurant. Had some gyoza. One side is pan fried, one side is deep fried. You'll notice on the left hand side a little saucer there of soy sauce and chili sauce together, and that's lovely tasty. This restaurant was fascinating to me because they are used to having people from all around the world coming there, and so they had a whole bunch of waitstaff who I'm not sure had any common language between them. So at front of house, there was a very nice Indian man, and the Indian man knew English, surely various Indian languages, and a little bit of German. He had just enough Japanese to explain to the person who did the seating how many people there would be, and if they wanted a booth or a table or a counter seat. But I heard him later trying to explain to me in Japanese, and he did not have any vocabulary that I expect someone who works there. The middle of house person was a Japanese person, and when she would bring out food to English speakers, she would say the exact same line in the exact same intonation every single time. This one's for you. No matter what it was, a drink, some gyoza, a salad, this one's for you, over and over again. The back of house people were, I'm relatively sure, Chinese, and I don't think they had Japanese because all of the orders were made to them by like some head cook who spoke Chinese, but didn't seem to have Japanese. And so it was really fascinating watching the different orders and requests from throughout the bar move from language to language to language as they got to different parts of the restaurants. And I had never seen this before. I'm used to, in Japan, the front of house people have really, really good Japanese. And then usually one person translates the language of the kitchen, whatever that is. But yeah, it was a crazy thing. So while we were there, we saw people from all around the world come in, and they were, often greeted by someone who spoke their language and could help them order. And it was pretty impressive to see, the way in which tourist areas here aren't just dealing with people from different states or areas of the same country, but really from all around the world in droves. Speaking of different parts of the country, the Osaka dialect, Nams has a very hard time understanding. She said it's similar to Bavarian, for those of you who know German, where the intonation's a little bit different and the vocabulary differs also. So when she was dealing with people in customer service situations, she was fine. But when it came to speaking with people who are not in customer service mode, it was a brief moment of, okay, what are they saying? What are they saying? But she got through it all right. It was okay. All right, so... Oh, yeah. All right. I need you to cover the children's eyes, because this next part's a little bit spooky. So this is the last thing we did this night. And so we were full of tasty gyozas. We'd had a couple drinks. We're feeling really, really relaxed. And then we began our walk back to the station to get back to the hotel. And along the way, there's this hole in the wall. This hole in the wall is at roughly thigh level for me. Roughly thigh level. And my desire is to not look in this hole. I have no interest in the hole whatsoever. No curiosity. I'm fine. Nams, though, says, sure, I like holes. Let's go look in the hole. And so Nams looked down there and went, oh, delightful. And then said, oh, it's so funny. Resorty, you should look in the hole. I do not want to look in the hole, but I trust my wife. It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be good. So I bend on down to thigh level, I lean forward, and holy cow, I jumped back like, whoa. And you'll recall, I was full of drinks. I was feeling really nice. And then I was not feeling really nice at all. It was quite scary. So you put your little eye up and, aha! It was a fun thing. It was a fun thing, but had Nam said it's going to be scary or going to be just surprising, that would have been so much better than it's going to be, it's going to be funny. Oh, goodness. Yeah, ominous and spooky. On the walk back, we went by the canal, so running parallelly to the really busy streets of canal area. It was lovely. Much like other canal areas in Tokyo, there are people who are driving their way up and down it, not driving, boating, and they wave to you and you wave back. It's all very nice. Before too long, this area got quite busy though, and there's an area that I meant to take a picture of, but I didn't. There's a very large and very famous sign of a candy brand called, I think, Gilco, Gilco, and it might be Glico. It's either Glico or Gilco, I can't remember which one. And their brand man is some like running athlete with his foot in the air and his arm in the air. And we stood there for about 20 minutes. And over the course of that 20 minutes, group after group after group came up and stood with their little arm in the air, leg in the air. I'll find a photo. I shouldn't describe this one without a photo. Let me find that real quick. Glico was called. Yeah, so the save image. Good. Oh, earlier someone asked about what music is this? It's just a playlist off of Pretzel Rocks. It's the piano one. Alright, image for you. Glico. Yes, many of you did the Googling for me. I appreciate that. Alright, there we go. So this is the busy area there. And on the left-hand side, you'll see the fellow with his arms there, leg in the air. And so people stand in front of that one and enjoy taking pictures. Also, that Asahi beer advertisement that's in the middle left there is really interesting. Over the course of, I think, like 5 or so minutes, it drains itself and then fills back up again. So you can watch the level of beer rising and falling. It's a lovely place, but definitely felt a little bit like Central Park. And that's not true. Sorry, Times Square in New York. Yeah, Times Square in New York with lots of advertisements, lots of youth culture and excitement and so on. And yeah, definitely at a certain point throughout the evening, I looked around and said to Noms, you're the oldest person here. And she said, I feel so young still. And I said, my knee hurts. So I believe it's the case. We're not long for the nightlife, but it was pretty cool anyway. All right. So went back to our little room, had a little sleep, and then in the morning, got up and prepared for another day ahead. And I'm going to tell a story now that is really disgusting. And this is not a haha funny disgusting, so if you're not into bodily functions, don't worry, it's not that bad. Earmuffs for just a moment. So in the morning, I woke up feeling a little bit off. And I couldn't identify what it was. I was not hungover, I knew that for sure. I didn't have a fever, nothing. I just wasn't feeling quite right. But I said, whatever, it's fine. And so went to breakfast inside the hotel. They had a little brunch thing from 6 a.m. to, I think, 1 p.m. And it had various Western and Eastern styles of food. Lots of good stuff. And so we gathered up our food. And actually, before I got my food, I sat down because I wasn't feeling terribly well and had a little glass of water and some coffee. And then, then I'm telling a story. Here I go. I then got some food. I got a fried egg and some pancakes and a few French fries. And so I got back to the table and Noms was there and we talked a little bit. Still not feeling very well. And I took a bite of a French fry, and then I suddenly had a really, really terrible moment. Like, took one tiny bit of French fry and had this sudden feeling of, Resorty, you must throw up. And I thought to myself, why? Why? I was feeling a little bit off, like, Resorty, you must throw up. And so I didn't want to be rude. And so I turned to Noms and said, I need to go back to the hotel room. And she said, oh, why? Did you leave something? I said, I need to go back to the hotel room. And so I stood up at once and left the restaurant and went to the elevator lobby. And so the elevator lobby was empty. Cool. And there are 26 floors of this hotel. We're on floor number 2 are rooms on floor number 13 or 14, something like that. Incidentally, Japanese do not have the no floor 13 thing. So as I'm waiting for the elevator to come, it is time to throw up. And there is no bathroom I can find. There is a potted plant. There are no waste baskets. And so here we go. I began to throw up. And I said to myself, Resorty, you are a large man. There's a lot of space in your mouth. It is time for maximum chipmunk time. And so... a little old lady comes up behind me and asks me to push the down button for her. And so with my mouth completely full of vomit... And yes, indeed, I get on the elevator, and I ride the elevator all the way up. Loaded to the gills. Spilling nothing anywhere. To the bathroom in our hotel room. Deposited my chipmunk cheeks. And that was all. I felt totally fine. Though my stomach had so much more food in it from the night before, that was the end. I did not throw up any more after that first burst. And I have absolutely no idea why. And that's the entire story of my illness. I thought, like, there's more food possibly. I thought there was more going on, etc. There must have been bathrooms somewhere, Thea. I just couldn't find them. I'm guessing they were inside of the restaurants. But in the moment of I must go to the hotel room, I was already outside of the restaurant and then just kind of panicked. So, I don't know. The alcohol? So, I don't think so. Because, again, it was only so much vomit as I could hold it in my mouth. And there's a lot of food inside of me, a lot of drinks. I don't think it was that. But I'm happy to say it was a weird experience that, I don't know. If vegetarian, maybe there was a small amount of meat in the food the night before. Maybe, yeah, but that's it. I tend to have meat broth these days, so it's a weird story. I felt 100% fine afterwards. There was still food in my stomach, but the end of that terribly gross story. Anyway, I went down and had a lovely breakfast of eggs and pancakes and French fries. So tasty. After that was done, we then went ahead and decided the final visit of our day would be to the Osaka Aquarium. The Osaka Aquarium, which is a very, very popular place also, and it was quite lovely. How did Nams react to hearing my little story? I think she was impressed. I think there was a lot of like, oh resorty, oh poor resorty. Oh, speaking of which... Sunday morning I awoke to find that someone that I've read a lot of their books had died. I'm not gonna hide this one. His name is Theodore Kaczynski. He was the Unabomber. And so... I mentioned this to Noms, and she walks over and says, "Aw, Resorty, I'm sorry your terrorist friend died." I teach part of his manifesto in my classes. I don't support terrorism, etc., but... he has some really interesting ideas about contemporary society. Oh, Resorty, I'm sorry the terrorist friend died. Yeah. All right. So we got to the. We decided to go to the aquarium. That's a Resorty. That's a weird angle. A weird angle for a picture of an aquarium. Yes, friends. This thing right here was taken atop a Ferris wheel. So I'd never been on a giant Ferris wheel before, and we decided to do so. As you see, it was a very, very cloudy, overcast day, and so we kind of went back and forth on the question of whether we should bother with the Ferris wheel, because Nam said, look, if we can't see very far, what's the point? And, it's very strange that it still costs the same amount of money, which I think is like 800 yen per person to do it, but we decided to do so. And so that was part of the day. you'll see that these are the kind of little baskets one gets into. You have a choice when you buy your ticket of no, actually that's not true, I'm sorry. The tickets are all the same price. You have a choice of when you get to the Ferris wheel, do you want to be in a cart there that has a glass bottom so you can see down more easily, or one that's a solid bottom instead. And so we got up there and we see there's one very, very, very long line for the glass bottom ones, and no one is in the line for the ones that have the covered bottoms. And the man asks, which one do you want to go on? And he says it'll be a 20-minute wait for the glass bottom ones, and we say, heck yes, 20-minute wait. And there are so few of the glass bottom ones. So all of these empty little cars are going by, and everyone stands in line waiting for the glass bottom ones. Now it's plexiglass as opposed to glass, but you wait. That area there you see is getting kind of wet with the rain. They do have a large squeegee on a stick. Every few minutes a man goes by with a squeegee on the stick and pushes all the water away. Because if not, people will probably slip getting out. One fascinating thing about this Ferris wheel is if they have someone coming in who is a little slower moving, maybe an older person, a person who uses a wheelchair, they do actually get people in wheelchairs on those. They slow down or even stop the Ferris wheel, not by turning a switch or moving a dial, but instead if any of the operators just grab the side of the gondola and pull back slightly, then the thing slows down and even stops. And I'd never seen that before, and that is really, really cool. Really, really cool to see that they can modify the speed in operation. Probably very useful in case of an emergency. But yeah, so that was fun to see. We got into it, and we went up into the air, seeing the city from above. This was the high point of my trip. Came up with that one on the Ferris wheel. Been saving it for you. High point of my trip. There you see the city of Osaka, one side of it. That's pretty cool. Many of you mentioned before that Osaka has the Universal City here in Japan. We can see it from above. We didn't get any pictures though, unfortunately. But that's pretty cool stuff. Also from up here we can see the river. And you'll say, wow, there's some interesting ships. Wait, is that a pirate ship? Heck yes it is. Blurry photo. All right, look here, you. Look here, you. Look here, you. The photo is taken through glass that has water on it. So, a pirate ship. Because apparently the Japanese love pirate ships. And so there's so many different river tours and river cruises in many, many cities that have these pirate ships that are taking people from place to place, and they don't have like any real pirate theme beyond being a pirate ship. They don't play like shanties. The operators are not dressed in pirate clothing. They're a pirate ship anyway. It's all kind of fun. It all looks like One Piece. Yeah. I've actually not read any One Piece yet. I know it involves a pirate guy whose name is Monkey, I think. My students have been trying to teach me about anime. It's gone so-so. On the way back down, the Ferris wheel there, a Jamba Bamba. Thank you very much indeed for the generous subscription. I'm glad you're enjoying our little slideshow. Thanks so much indeed. Hopefully I said your name roughly correct, but thank you for hanging out with our lovely channel. I assume that's because of the high point of the trip joke that I was saving for you all the way through. Yeah, on the way back down, we then spotted this right here. What's that, you might say? What does it appear to be? Oh gosh, it's a blurry picture. It's actually a giraffe. Because in the area with the aquarium and also with the giant Ferris wheel, there's actually the Lego Museum. The Lego World of Osaka is here. Now, this photo was meant to be a from the ground, let me show you the giraffe Lego machine. And as you'll see, there are children in the middle of that picture. And so I took the picture as fast as I possibly could because I did not want parents thinking I was taking pictures of their children. So unfortunately, I cut its head off. But that's a Lego style giraffe. Now, it's not actually made out of Yeah, Legos. It says it looks like it's Legos for the Legoland. It's not Toys R Us. I think Toys R Us is closed now. Yeah, this past photo is from the glass bottom. Absolutely. Yeah, so that's through the bottom of the Ferris wheel. A little bit of rain on it, but it was definitely worth the cost, or the time waste rather, to look down and through. All right. Then we went to the aquarium. And Noms took this photo, and she is so much better at taking photos than I am. So the aquarium was a really, really cool place once we got in. So like so many other large attractions here in Japan, there are more people who want to see it than we can possibly fit in at any one point. So they do staggered entry, where you're able to buy a ticket for a particular time, and they let probably 100 people or so in at a time. We got to the museum, or the aquarium, around about 11:15, 11:30. The earliest entrance availability was 12:30, so we got to stand around in the rain. Did a little bit of walking around, looking at this and that. Oh, I should mention this story. We got ourselves a little lunch, and it was just an onigiri, so the rice ball with, in my case, some miso inside of it, miso and green onion. In Nam's case, it was just solid rice ball all the way through. And we're sitting and eating, and there was this family. With 3 children, and what I assume is a mom and a dad. Who knows for sure? And the mom and the dad were exhausted, very, very, very tired, and they kind of had just given up on controlling the children. And so there was one little girl who was running in circles, screeching as loudly as she possibly could, and her 2 brothers were chasing after her. And it was fun. I mean, the screeching was pretty terrible. But every once in a while, the parents would try to control them by saying, Hana, stop, Hana. I believe they were Singaporean. I'm not certain, though. And so little Hana had no time to stop. And eventually, as Noms and I were finishing our little meals, Hana decided that she was interested in me. So she would run in her little circle, screaming, and then walk up to look directly into my face. I was sitting down, she's a small child, and I look at her and I go, hello, and she'd go, hee, and then run away again. And she did this 3 times before her mother finally decided it was time to stop the hello game. I don't know what she wanted from me. I don't know if there's any way to get her involved in the conversation. I considered greeting her in another language just to surprise her, but no, she was definitely enjoying the hello and then hee hee hee. It was very, very cute. I try very hard not to engage with strangers' children here. I try very hard not to impose myself, because there is some suspicion of outsiders. But if they approach me, I'm not gonna be rude towards them. But it was very, very cute, and hopefully she has a nice memory of when the big white guy said hi to her. But there you go. All right, so we got into the aquarium after a bit of a wait. My favorite part of the wait was there was another family. This family was obviously American, and they were like, we're Americans here. We're Americans speaking English, being confused, doing the English. And so they had a big sign up of this is the group that is currently allowed into the aquarium based on time. And they never exactly said when people were allowed to queue up for the next group. And so the father in the group kept getting, I don't want to say angrier and angrier, but more and more agitated at his inability to understand you actually are not allowed to queue up until your time. So the people who are queued up are trying to get in right now. They're not waiting for the next group to get in. And so when he reaches a sufficiently, agitated state, Noms walks over to him and says in perfect Midwestern English, just so you know, you can't get in until your time. We're waiting too. No worries. And the guy went, oh, that was amazing. And Nam said, what do you mean it's amazing? And the guy said, you look like you're just a Japanese, but you speak English. And so this group proceeded to follow us through the rest of our time in the aquarium, not conversing with us, but I think they appreciated having noms nearby to be able to speak the English along with helping them with the Japanese situations. It was a weird moment. It was a weird moment. So yeah, so eventually we got into the aquarium, and unfortunately, it was quite busy all the way through. And I noticed that one interesting change has happened since last time I was in an aquarium, which is, as you know, when you go into an aquarium, one of the most favorite things little kids have to do is to run themselves up against the glass and push their face against it and try to touch the fish and see the fish. Imagine if you give these little rugrats their own camera phone also. Because then they'll proceed to try to become a nature photographer while pressed up against the glass. And so there's a tremendous amount of young children pushing against each other, trying to get the right angles and so on. And it was, pretty unpleasant in that respect. Like, seeing things, very cool. I'm glad to see all these fine fish and such, but the kids were not all right. So the way the Osaka Aquarium is set up is there's one giant tank in the middle. This giant tank is their Pacific Ocean tank. And so in this tank there are various sharks and manta rays and various other rays and lots and lots of fish in a very large tank that you can see across multiple levels. I believe the Osaka Aquarium is 4 or so levels up, down. I guess you go down and then back up again. And so throughout the entire thing, you can see this middle gigantic tank. And then all around the outside, they have a tour of the Pacific Ocean, going from Japan up north into the coast of Russia, over into Alaska, down into the United States coast, and then continuing all the way around. And so it's kind of fascinating the way they have the tour set into the very architecture of the building. So the inner edge is that center of the Pacific, and the outer edge is the various land masses along the way. And it was just absolutely a cool idea of presenting it that way, and I was so glad to see it. Now, because it was so crazy inside of the aquarium, I didn't get that many pictures. There are lots of things I saw that I will not show you. I saw dolphins, which makes me very sad. Don't like seeing dolphins enclosed. You fill in the answers here. There's a group of otters, though, who are having just the absolute time of their lives. The otters seem just to enjoy interacting with children, and we're swimming up and down over and over again everywhere. And unfortunately, the barrier reef section was closed, as was a special section that occasionally has something inside of it. I'm guessing they're setting up for the next one in the future. But along the way, they found hammerhead sharks, something I'd only ever seen before in action figures, I assume. And I just see there the hands of other people be in a lot of these pictures. Beyond that, we also have this thing here. That's a big old ray who decided to float on by. Those pictures, or those creatures, so huge and such strange looking faces in places. But yeah, it looks great. Beyond that, we also saw some little creatures on the ground. A little crab buddy there. This is another one of those large central area there. Was full of starfish and crabs and lobsters and so on. Not the best picture. An ad break's coming in a moment. I'm going to just talk through it again. My apologies to those of you who are watching ads. There will be more pictures of this and that for sure. Beyond that, we also had pictures of, this thing. This was Nam's favorite fish there. It was I don't know what it's called, but it looked like just a large rock. And it was a pretty disgusting fish that kind of floated along. It had a little flipper on the side that kicked out, but mostly stayed against his body. It might be a moonfish, a triggerfish, an oarfish, a sunfish, an alomola fish. I'm sure one of those is right. I don't know, but it's really cool. It's really cool to see such large, strange creature it is. And as you see there's so many people in all directions through that central area. I should also say that it was very clear from the beginning that this large central tank, the Pacific Ocean tank, could be seen at multiple levels all the way across and through the entire aquarium. And despite that, the first place where you could see into it just had, I don't know, 100 people jammed up against it. And there's a nice Japanese man who kept saying, you can continue along. You'll be able to see into this tank in all directions. Please continue along. Over and over again, I think his entire job is repeatedly announcing, please don't clump up here. And yet, people clumped up there. So there's that. We then have this, which is the main attraction. That's a whale shark. It was sort of the king of the middle tank, going in circles, and I'm not sure if it was scaring other creatures away, but it was what people most wanted to see there. A really big and long creature, majestic as can be. And I'm sorry not to have a better photo of the side there, but you could see that it is a long, attractive creature for sure. Then past that, what do we have here? We have a gigantic crab. This is I think an Arctic crab of some sort. When we got on the Antarctica portion of the tour of the Pacific, they had some tanks that were marked as like 4 degrees Celsius. And little fish and crabs there hanging out, having a good life. And I think for myself, if I were in very, very cold water, I would move slowly and not get around all that much. But the fish in there were scuttling along as fast as you'd see any other fish moving along. Clearly adapted to their environments and having a pretty good time. All right, we then come to the big question. Now, maybe you had this question too as you were heading into the aquarium with me. Maybe you had this moment of wondering something really important about the relationship between Japanese culture and the aquarium. And I'm going to spoil it straight away, which is no. So, one of the most popular foods in Japan and one of the specialties of Osaka is fish. And so I was wondering, when we eventually got to the food court area, would they be serving fish in the aquarium? And they don't. And they don't, unfortunately. I was ready to titter, but this is the only food that's actually served there other than some ice cream dishes. So the left inside there, you do see there are fish being served, but they're actually just made out of rice and then colored to look like sharks, whatever. Inside that same rice bento there, you do see the little octopuses. Octopuses there are hot dogs, or hot dog sausage equivalents, that are just cut little octopuses. But no, they did not serve fish to eat inside the aquarium. I do kind of wonder how how Japanese parents talk about these things, because usually the kind of creatures that are seen on display in zoos in the U.S. are not ones we eat. But in this one, like, there were octopuses, and they're probably different species of octopodes, octopuses, than we eat. But it was strange seeing them looking indistinguishable. Like, this buddy is worth looking at. This buddy's worth eating. It was just not quite clear why that was. So, yeah. I think that's my story. I think that's what I got. We then, from there, headed back to the train. I will pull the train up again for your enjoyment of the Shinkansen. And rushed on back to Tokyo. When we got back to Tokyo, we just came on home, did the crossword, did some more grading. And that was my weekend. That's what I did. Those were the things I saw. And I'm sure I've left out some things I'll tell you more in the future, but it was pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Hello, new seamen. You didn't think you'd enjoy the slide stream? Yeah. I mean, I realize it is like what my grandfather used to do. Namely, like, make us sit on the sofa in the living room and, like, here's a picture of a glacier. Here's a picture of a glacier from a slightly different angle. As a kid, I was like, oh, it's so boring. I wish I'd paid better attention, though. Paid better attention all the way through. It was a really great weekend. I really enjoyed it a whole bunch. But, Steeman, I'm glad you enjoy my slideshows also. In just a moment here, we'll move over to our game for sure. How fast that train move? Yeah, train moves 300 kilometers per hour. Pretty quick. What's the price of a ticket on bullet train? Yeah, the bullet train from Tokyo to Osaka is, I'm trying to remember if it's dollars or yen. I think it's roughly $175 each way per person. Now, with that said, that was for like the standard ticket, the middle ticket. So 3 classes of ticket. One is the green ticket, and the green ticket is like the special luxury one that's like big leather seats and so on. And the middle one was the one we were in, which is more like this. And then the first 3 cars this thing have no assigned seating. And I think they may sell more tickets than they can actually fit into those areas. And I've heard it may be chaos up there with people standing up the whole way and so on. But yeah, about $175 or so for that trip each way. And yeah, it's nice. It's nice though. So we'll probably go on another vacation before too terribly long. The issue, of course, is getting Noms away from her work. It's always much easier for us to do vacations when they line up with her work locations, but I think she has a meeting in Kyoto in about a month or so. We'll probably go to that. We'll see. Or when I say we, I mean I will go to that. I very much want to go to Hokkaido, which is the most northern portion of Japan, ideally in the winter, because it will remind me of home. And then also I would like to go to Shikoku, which is a very little island to the south of Tokyo that Noms grew up in, actually. She lived there until she was 2 years old. Her family's from there. And I think it'd be very, very cool to go see the place she's from. It's quite rural, though, and to get around most places, you need to have a car. So I'm not sure if we're gonna hire a car, like someone to drive us around, or if I will actually learn how to get a Japanese driver's license. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not gonna do that. Like, some part of me says it would be very useful to be able to drive a car in Japan outside of the city, but no, I'm not gonna do that. So we'd like to go there for sure. And then also bicycles. So bicycles are great in the cities. In Shikoku, though, it's a little bit too spread out in large portions of it. So I don't know. There might be like a Shikoku tour company. I have no idea. That said, there's an island I also want to go to that has a very, very small population, and you have to take a boat to get there. It takes multiple days on the sea to get there. But for the purpose of taxation, this little island is part of Tokyo because it has so few population, or so little population, that it can't keep up infrastructure. And so they get Tokyo taxes instead sent their way, which I think is a really fantastic way of solving the problem of how do you keep underfunded areas functioning. And I kind of wonder long term in Japan whether those make a national taxation on property taxes, because the rural areas here are depopulating in a huge way, and they're just very, very old now. And so I'm curious to see how Japan handles that long term. There are lots of hopes to revitalize them with new companies and so on, but younger people want to live in the big city. Japan doesn't allow you to drive on a U.S. driver's license. So there are, I think, 3 states in the U.S. that have reciprocal agreements with Japan. I think Ohio is one of them. Hawaii, California, maybe something like that. I don't remember exactly. And so with those, you can convert directly into a Japanese license, but I'm not from one of those states, unfortunately. There are international driver's licenses where you can prove that you're licensed in one nation, and then while a tourist, you can get a license that will work in Japan. But if you're a permanent resident, you're not allowed to use those. Now, there's one guy who works at our university who's been working here since 1979 or so, maybe 1985, somewhere in that period, a very long time ago, who is still on an international driver's license. And so apparently, like, once a year, maybe once every 2 years, he leaves Japan and then re-enters so he can get a new stamp on his international driver's license. So, cool. But he really enjoys driving, and I just don't. So, we'll see. But yeah, that's the future for us. Probably some more tours here and there. That's it. I'm very glad that we had a nice little weekend, and now I'm glad to be back in town, probably for the rest of the semester. And so we'll return to normal streaming schedule from this point forward. It'd be good. Hey, Kendid, you've heard of programs which are attempting to attract expats to the rural areas by offering free-ish housing. Yeah, the problem with the free-ish housing being offered out in the rural areas is a lot of the places are in fairly bad condition, or at least they haven't been modernized. So the house might be stable and sturdy, but it'll have like external toilets, and we'll have no air conditioning. And so expats who want to move there often have to use quite a bit of money to improve the place up to their standards. But yeah, there's occasionally stories in the New York Times, International Edition especially, about want to buy a house for $300? Rural Japan's your place. And it's true. It's true. There actually are rural areas that are giving away housing for free. And they'll even give you some money to help you improve the place. But it's not quite the dream situation a lot of people have. So we'll see. I mean, I'm excited to see what kind of development there is out there. Joke's on you, your standards are low. I'm guessing you might be okay with outdoor toilets and no AC, but many of them also do not have stable internet. That's how it goes. Yeah, they don't have stable internet. No stable internet. So I think there's been a big push to try to get better internet out of those places. Because the Japanese government has like they have many huge issues. One of them, though, is what do you do with rural communities that have a tremendous number of old people in them? Who do not want to leave, but who are no longer able to keep up the place that they live in. And so there's been a conversation trying to induce them into the cities, or finding ways to make the rural areas more attractive. And that latter one's not working super hard thus far, so that's how it goes. Anyway, I think that's enough opening story time. Unless anybody has any other questions about the weekend or really anything else, I'm happy to chit-chat for a while. If you missed my opening today, you'll have missed that I told a poem and learned a poem about Osaka, and that was pretty nice. Known as a blessing, yeah. I mean, I do enjoy like unplugged vacations where I just sit and read books for a while, and just go for walks without my cell phone. But also need the computer for my jobs, and it's my social life also, right? In Osaka, because it was so loud, I had to ask Noms what she'd said on the street quite a few more times than usual. And she said, "Resorti, are you losing your hearing?" And I said, I don't think so. I think it's just very loud here. I'm having trouble picking you out. And she said, "What about when you talk with other people? Can you hear them?" And I thought for a moment that the last time I had talked to another person in public, other than her, there's nothing. They're my students. And I talk to you all, and that is my life. So she asked me to please have one of my students walk with me out into a busy area and talk there to see if I'm losing my hearing. I told her I will not fight the eventual transition over to hearing aids, but I don't think I'm there quite yet. I'm only 38, 39, something like that, so we'll see. All right, at some point Japan will probably get used to more immigration. I don't know. I think that's been the solution for so many of the nations about like if one central population is decreasing, allow more immigrants in. But I like Japan a lot, but it is a relatively unfriendly place for immigrants who are not wealthy or highly educated, and even those people are never fully welcomed in at this point. So I think a big cultural overhaul, big cultural shift. If only the place they can go to get checked for matters involving health. All right, look here, you. I need to have my yearly health check by March of next year. We're in the process of losing the weight before then. Things are going okay. Okay on that front. I don't want to show up at the cattle call health check and have some Japanese doctor poke me in the stomach repeatedly. But yes, part of that yearly health check is the hearing test. And apparently the hearing test here is the inverse of what I'm used to in Japan, or in the US rather. In the US, your hearing test is when you hear the sound, push the button. Here in Japan, it's you hold down the button until the sound shows up, and then you release the button. Very confusing. One of the Americans we know hadn't gotten the message on it being backwards, and he got a hearing test back that was marked with, "You're completely deaf." So that's how it goes. Yeah, we'll see. But I got a few more months. Got 8-9 months before I have to get that medical test checked out. So we'll see. One thing I should mention also is today I'm teaching something I've never taught before, and so I'm very much enjoying the stream, but also a little nervous about today's material. So I've taken class on various Eastern traditions. today in an attempt to make my Western-focused class a little bit more, immediately appealing for my non-Western students. I'm teaching some Confucius, which I know. Like I know the material well enough that I feel comfortable talking through his social philosophy, especially. It's pretty conservative. It's pretty conservative, and it's also taught via aphorisms, little stories as opposed to explicit arguments. And so getting students on board with that, like trying to think through these stories as something other than being about what they're explicitly about, and it takes some work. That's the one hand. On the other hand, I have a Chinese student who is intelligent and well-read and so direct that it comes to the point of being aggressive sometimes. And if I were not her teacher, I would be terrified of her. She's the kind of person I would intentionally avoid. And so I sent her a little email saying, "Hi, I know that you know Confucian thought very well. I know that you're taught it in elementary school," or I think I said primary school. So today, I'd love it if you would, help me out with the teaching, help me out with showing your culture to people who don't know much about it, and help them learn. And so my hope is that she will take the pedagogical perspective of helping the ignorant as opposed to dictating to them what they should know. Because in small groups so far, it's been rough. Because she's someone who will take the question that we were discussing in small groups and announce her answer and then be uninterested in anyone else's answer. And I've talked to her like, part of the small group discussion is to think together, to grow and to learn and to comment and to share. And she said, "But I have the right answer. Why would I do it?" Okay, fine. So that's how it goes. I'm going to ask her about various war crimes. No, of course not. I mean, these are people, right? I don't think we should, meet a random American and say, "So, how about those Native Americans?" I think all of us come from monstrous cultures, and at times at least. And so no, I treat my students as individuals as best I can, and I think it's important to me I do that. So, all right, it's enough talking. Haven't done any crossword at all today, haven't played any games at all today. It is time for us to move over in that direction. So pardon me for a second while I get the game set up. So we're going to go back to Backpack Hero once more. Probably today is the last day of this game. I'm really enjoying it, but we'll see. So it's my first playthrough. If you've not seen this game, it is similar enough to Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire, a lovely little game that you can build a deck and then defeat enemies on the way. And this one instead, you have to deal with a limited inventory. So new player kind vibes. That's right. I'm using the word vibes to describe my stream today. Seems perfect. All right. Did I watch any of the new game announcements or previews? Fuzzy, I don't know what you're referring to. Did games come out throughout the weekend? What kind of games were announced? Tell me stories, please. I know really nothing at all about this. I know that there's a release date now for Cities Skylines. I think it's October, maybe? Is that right? I am intending to play a Cities Skylines 1 playthrough before Cities Skylines 2 comes out. There's a Summerfest on Steam. Oh no. Do we have to go to Steam and spend all of my money? Is that coming presently? Is that the next step on today's adventure? Maybe. Some game reveals. Ton of announcements. Okay. How about we say beginning of tomorrow's stream? Yeah, beginning of tomorrow's stream. Let's go ahead and talk about what games came out. If you want to encourage me to check out anything in particular, that'd be cool, because I tend to miss kind of information. There's a Cyberpunk DLC release date. Very cool. I have not played any Cyberpunk at all. I've heard good things about it. The company that made it, the red thing. I can't remember what it's called. Cyberhook Red, maybe? I don't know. Red Hook is the company that made Darkest Dungeon. I can't remember. But whatever it is, super good. Their broadcast on Twitch. Wait, do you think we should comment on someone else's broadcast? Should I become that kind of streamer? That brings up another streamer's video in the main area, and then I just sit here and go, cool. Yeah. And I pause whoa. When this guy says, React streamer is definitely the path to greatness on Twitch. No doubt about that. No, I prefer to like have a website or maybe a very short video to watch about about what games are coming out. Like watching a multi-hour stream and like just making noises sounds absolutely terrible. Gotta be more hype. I don't know, dude. I don't know, bro. I don't know, dude. Alright, we're continuing our playthrough from last time. Gotta say, the particular build we have in this game is so good. Is so ridiculously good. And, yeah, we're at floor 7, level 5. I don't know how long this game goes. Maybe one of you can tell me, is there an end to this game? Or is it just go and go and go until eventually you die? Whichever way, we're doing a Shiv build, which has been hilarious so far. We have gotten every little Shiv we possibly can. Shivs we use for free, and so what we're doing is attempting to strengthen our row here as much as possible in order to do as much damage as possible for free. We then also have this item, the coal, which when you click it, resets all of the items in its row. So we use all the Shivs and then reset, and it's great. You'll notice our character's wearing 3 hats right now. 3 different hats that give more block, and then also this thing here lets you set up a dodge if you want to. So we can use the dodge to avoid one big attack at some point if we want. We also have a whole bunch of auto armor, possibly too much auto armor, but this has worked pretty well so far, and hope that continues. On this side we have a liquid armor left behind, so we must have just finished a fight and picked up something, but I have no idea what it was, and so we'll just continue along and see. Okay. There's an unknown event this way. There's a little spot for fighting. Various cultists. I don't think I've fought cultists before. Down here, cultists and a hair defender. We have a merchant. We only have 8 money right now, so we're not going to do that. But if we head this direction, come and collect. So some of these collections are countdown, where if you don't get there in X amount of turns, you then have to, or it then disappears. But I'd love to know what it is there. And over here we have valuables too. Let's go on the path of valuables first and see what we find. So, care to do a trade. This character will give me some other item of the same durability, or rarity rather, and I'm not sure how big it'll be, so no, I like my items fine. Thank you for your time. Past that, we also have another locked chest. Still, I don't have any keys, so no luck on that. Let's go take a fight and see how it goes. Alright, so new character for us, the Enlightened Cultist. Blast Processing, it says. Blast Processing. I don't know if that means after a certain number of turns we do huge damage. This one, the Chosen Cultist. The Dark Lady chose him to weave the webs. He's in the process of staticking. Alright, so deals 2 damage to self and the item floats. So if he casts static, I have to put it in my inventory and deal with that. As you see, we have 30 automatic armor, so we can ignore the first character here if we want to, and just take the attack. But I don't think I put 170 damage in a turn. I actually don't know my max damage right now, especially with our lovely little stopwatch there, which gives 2 bonus damage, or 1 bonus damage at every single attack. We can definitely get a kill here. Yeah, I think I'll just go in hard on this one and see what happens. So, here comes some shivs. Yeah, reset. And do it again. 1 turn left. There we go. We then heal ourselves. That will gradually begin filling up our health once more. I'm guessing we are getting this item into our inventory. And so how do you work? 2 separate statics, it says. We don't know what floating means quite yet. So what does it mean for an item to float? The mouse over it does nothing, unfortunately. So create static in a space below. Can I put it? I wonder if it takes over the tile it's in. So I put it here, will make it so I can't use my coal anymore. I'm gonna put it here. There is no tile below. Or does space below mean below it in the stack, not below it here? Oh, floats rise to the top. So by going here, it's at the top. Got it. Got it. And so I don't need my dodge in this fight, I don't think, so I'm okay avoiding that. And then the luck thing, while I really like my luck ring, it also has a built-in heal. Yeah, I'll just put it there also. I think that's fine. Alright, so this fine fellow is pairing to Rage, himself and his friend, which causes 1 more damage. We do 62 damage this turn. I think we can do that. I gotta believe. Yeah, looking good. So he's gonna get 13 damage right now. So what do I have that does about 5 damage or so? This is our lowest damage item. Unfortunately, it still is too much. But you will now die, and that will be great. Cool. I mean, I can just kill him now. Why wait for the damage over time? I'm guessing there will be some builds where you want to have damage over time kills. This is not one of them. Again, we could build buildings in our inventory. No thanks. Poison Star. You throw it 1 time, does some poison to 1 enemy. We have here a basic blade and the cleaver and another hat. So this is a shoe hat or a hat shoe. You can put it in the bottom or top row. It then gives you a little bit more block, but don't need that. Then a yellow rose of Texas. Adds an additional spike for each rose of thorns in this row or column. So you can get spikes which give attack for free or damage for free when enemies attack you. And here we have a chef's hat. I'm sorry, what? Cleavers below get a bonus to damage, adds 1 block. Man, if we had cleavers, it'd be an awesome item. We have no cleavers right now, and I do like the variety of builds that we're kind of being hinted towards with these different items. And so I'm guessing you can get that one earlier. You can use that hat for great benefit, but with no cleavers, it's not worth doing. So I think we're good. Alright, let's take the other fight now. This is one of those blocking fellows. You have to kill them before you can attack the one behind. So he only has 30 health right now. Cool. Cool. There's probably some way to like actually count through how much damage you're doing, but I'm okay with just getting the kill. This would be 1 plus 8 is 9. Plus the burn, 10, 11, 12. I think this will kill him. Because the fire will proc before the shielding procs. Yes. However, son of a gun, I need to have him deadened before I can go fell behind. So we use our tiniest poker. Well, unfortunate. Reset. And so again with the static, but that's okay. Maybe I should keep a slot for items to sell. Yeah, I don't know. I like all my things. I like all my things very, very much. And so I'm not quite sure which one I would want to sell. Yeah, but with our, with our character doing so well, I'm actually not sure if we need to change our setup at all. But yeah, having like more space for picking up more stuff could be very cool. I don't know. Hey Cosmo, did I see the gameplay video of Starfield as Space Sim? Nope. I've not seen anything that's come out in the past weekend. I've heard good things, but I know, really nothing, unfortunately. What's this? Building a song. This is again for construction inside your backpack. We don't have that. Flowers seem cool. Healing seems cool. I'll check out the gameplay video for Starfield tomorrow, I suspect. If anyone has things they should look at for stream tomorrow, please put it on the Discord. We'll start stream tomorrow with a big list and pictures of things to talk about in gaming world. Yeah, really nothing new here that I would like, so on we go. That's the wrong button. Alright, so a unknown event. It looks like a forge. It says an unknown event, so we'll see. Welcome to the Forge. Just the standard thing. Don't have very much money. So, I'll come back here in just a moment. Let's see what the person who's selling is selling. Any shivs? No shivs, unfortunately. So I expect we're going to stay with exactly what we have. That said, Hawkeye's bow. One of the greatest archers in the ranks of the patrol was Hawkeye Mirabelle. She once shot down 2 hawks while hanging upside down from a tree. Wow. I wonder if there's certain items one can find along the way, like that chef's hat maybe, that might completely change one's build. And so you get the chef's hat and then immediately start trying to get more and more cleavers. I like our build though, so we're gonna stay with this. What are the upgrades here if possible? Poison to a weapon, or slow to an enemy we could afford. We have a bunch of slow in one weapon already. I mean, more poison seems good, I guess. And I have one dagger that's very, very low damage. It's this one right here. So I'll go ahead and add some poison there to make it a little bit better for using on the resets. Okay, up we go again. Part 2 of 3 in the Frozen Heart. Oh, this might be the first time I've ever seen parts of the map that have things for us to go get. We don't see quite how to get there. So here we get some health. We're fine on health. This is cash money. This is I don't know what. So I'd like to get the I don't know what especially. Alright, so these fellows, the polar bears, put ice blocks in. Ice blocks means you can't use the items below them, I believe. 2 of them is unfortunate. In the middle we have an Ultra Knight. First time seeing this. The ultimate machine, perfectly crafted and impervious to all damage. Okay, it has a rough hide on it. So, what does rough hide do? Damage from projectiles reduced by 50%, lasts until combat ends. Okay. Every turn, it will cast that and more rage onto itself. Now, it says it's impervious to all damage. I think that's false. If it's not false, we have some real problems. So I'm just going to damage it. That is happening. Good. Okay, so is it all damage? Just damage from projectiles reduced. So the damage from dots will continue. We're at 6 damage from dots right now. Big sword. We're at 7 now. Okay. Biggest damage dealer here is only 10. Only 10 really. Dots may not do it. We'll see. So we need to do it's still 7, so we need to do 5 more damage if possible. 4 plus 1. Cool. 8 a kill. Great. Then move to you and unload. Big attack. We'll heal. Good. All right. So these things, they have to be fully into the backpack. The thing that we touch with it costs more energy. And so we don't cast those at all, nor the ones here. So I don't believe either will be affected by the more energy cost. Oh boy! Surprise! Surprise, surprise! The Impervious Knight was actually 3 rats inside of an armor set. I love it. Hey Triskel, you can't get your head around why this game draws me in. Is the inventory management. That's part of it. I think any game that invites me to think while playing, I tend to enjoy. Like, the inventory management seems super cool, and I guess I'm enjoying learning all of the different items and possible builds in this game. I think it's a game that I could never get super deep into, but this is my first playthrough, and so I think I'm just enjoying learning what's in it. It's not a long-term game. If you're not enjoying it, I swear probably tomorrow will be on something else, but yeah, I think it's just there's a lot to think about while the game is played. It's that kind of thing, I think. Like, I like Slay the Spire also, though I'm very, very bad at that. So, alright. There were 3 buddies inside. One is the legs, and the legs does not take an action. He never skips leg day. Love it. There's the chest. A chest piece called the muscle. He'll do anything the hero honcho demands. He's a defender. You have to kill him to get through. Then there is... oh, you can't even select the head honcho yet. Me order, me master, I run dungeon. And then more polar bears. So the fellow's doing nothing. Not quite sure about. This character adds haste, which means that all of the characters gain 2 armor if they have armor. And if the muscle is still around, then everyone will have armor. So we want to deal with both of you. They'll go muscle, little buddy, leg man. Possibly. 30 damage. Here's a bunch. Need to do 10 more damage. 8 plus. He is... again, you can't use dots for this. I keep forgetting when they're the defenders, they have to die this turn. So, what a waste. Hello to you, Headman. It's a funny name. And then this buddy. Just unload, unload, unload. So he will be able to be finished off with the dots. Currently at 3. And the littlest weapon. Cool. And then back once more to the giant polar bears. They're going to do enough... oh! Oh! I misunderstood. Okay. So I think it's the case that the ice blocks here block the auto armor. We only have 12 armor this time, or 12 block this time instead of the 30 something we had previously. So we will take some damage here. And, okay. Cosmoro, thank you for the follow. Hope you're having a good day. We could just dodge. We could just dodge. It's 1 time per combat, but yeah, sure, fine. How much does it cost? Nothing. Good. Okay. And that's the turn. We're just taking some damage, not nearly as much as before. Good. And then heal up. No problems. Hello, Mr. Sticks. I got you addicted to Stone Shard. Awesome. Hope you're enjoying it. It's a great game. Again, another game with so many different builds and ways to play. I think games that have a sort of like openness to the player, where you don't have to do just one build, I really do enjoy quite a bunch. I prefer to finish this guy off because he was going to cast more things that ruin my inventory, and that would be the worst, the worst, the worst. So I think just the full Shiv round on him. Cool. So he's going to take 13 damage right now. Now 14... if we do this attack, he will definitely die this next turn. It'd be a bunch of wasted damage. So I'd like to do 20 damage if possible. Okay, 11 plus 3 is 14. Okay. So we're at do 5 more damage, I believe. He is gone. Good. Hello, big boy. Just unload. We will take a little damage again, but we are healing, so it's alright. Now, if possible, I think I'd like to stay in this fight one more turn to heal up some more. Because you can't use your regen outside of combat, unfortunately. If we want to, we could reorganize the bag and get this pretty flower. Nope, don't need that. But if we... let's see. If I stay in combat, we'll get the 2 ice cubes, which will weaken us for future attack. We'll put 1 here and 1 here, I guess, and I have to like stab them down. I don't know. Let's see how low we can get them just by the standard hit with everything routine. Could be a terrible thing to heal up and then not be able to finish them off, but that's so close to finishing them off, we should be alright. Yeah, so I guess I'm ending... yeah, I guess I'm ending with mana left. That's alright. Okay, these can go... oh, it's tiny ones! They're tiny little buddies instead. I thought they were huge ones. So let's turn both of those off for now. And that's good. Full health, no problems. A winner! is me. But we leveled up, so we unlock 3 more spots. What did I say I wanted to have open in the future? I mean, the top row, of course, for more hats. Always more hats. I guess various spots allow us to buff our shivs more. I'm gonna open up these, I guess, and let's see what comes of it. Now, what items do we get for our new open spots? Haven't seen this before. A tasty fly. Rats don't eat flies. It's a rare accessory that seems not to do anything. Oh. Is the shopkeeper a fly eater? Huh. The idea of having an item that might do nothing but could be very useful appeals to me a bunch, so I will sure take that, even if it's worth nothing. And then this thing is 1 spike always. Cool. And then a big old poison potion. Or cleansing bomb. Let's do the poison potion. It hits everyone, correct? Yep. Everyone gets poison. And it doubles any current poison stacks, which... That's cool. That's cool. Onward. Got a chest. It's locked. Again, with the polar bears, these are again the big ones, so we prefer not to get both of them, but I think we're unfortunately going to. I wonder if you can dodge an item. What does dodging actually do? Only physical, unfortunately. Only physical, so we still take that regardless. I guess I should have thought a little bit more when opening slots about where the best place to put these blocks would be, and like make a nice area to hide it in with items we don't care about as much. We could put it here. And losing the road is not a huge problem, but losing these particular shivs, especially this one, would be a little bit annoying. It does so much damage. I'm not sure. Little healing thing, little attacking thing. See how it goes. So I'll probably do exactly what I did last time, which again weakens our auto armor, but it's okay. Yeah, so auto armor went from 30 down to 12. These ones are not defenders, so we can just fight our way through. I'm going to save the potion here, though it would get a kill. I'm going to save it for a boss fight, ideally. Okay, he's definitely gone. Next fellow we reset again, and just tack through. And 2 little ones. Put on the fly, which does nothing. And then on the fly, put on the potion instead. Cool. Almost full health. Close enough for right now. And so we'll try to finish this thing out. He's doing enough damage now that if he's still alive at the end of this thing, we'll definitely dodge. Because he's attacking twice. But he won't be the end, so bye. Cool. Alright, an armor, a bronze breastplate. Adjacent and diagonal armor get +2 block. Adjacent weapons get 1 more damage also. For being a common item, that seems really quite strong. The reason we have the King's Shield is entirely because it gives 1 rage and 1 spike every time we're attacked. And we haven't been attacked that many times. So we could put this right here. It would then give... No, I'm sorry, it's actually a 4. I thought it was a 2 instead, and it's not. So I don't think we want that then. Though I like our baby wand here, I'm actually not entirely sure how much good it's doing us. The farthest we've fallen on health as far as 36 or so. It was nice to heal up off of that, but not sure. This is this bow blade, I believe. Yep, saw it earlier. Some random arrow. A frothy drink. Nah, nothing we need here, I don't think. That breastplate looks pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know. Continue to pick up nothing. Nothing forever. Another chest, nothing there. Just continue along to get whatever this is. Another defender guy here. Another defender. This is the one that's 3 kids inside of an outfit. And he's only going to attack me and block on himself. So we'll try to finish off the cultist first. Seems unlikely to happen, but it'd be a good start anyway. And shocks again. Float to the top, so we'll put it there. There. Static in the spaces below. So I'm guessing he's going to use the thing below, you take some damage. Put it here, no dodging, but nothing is being used below. So 1 dagger will hurt us a little bit, maybe. Is that right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, if you use it. Okay, if you use it, it then gets destroyed, but you take 2 damage. If not, when your turn ends, then this turn, it goes down to here. I see how it works now. Maybe. I possibly understand how this works. We'll see. Okay, taking 17 damage. It is spaced directly below. Thank you for... Wait, directly below in which sense, Silent? Like, below meaning on the y-axis or on the z-axis? I don't understand what the word below means. Yeah, so it might disappear and put it on the... whatever item was there. Understand. Maybe so. Maybe it'll be onto the mask. Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out soon enough. This fellow is only doing it to himself. That spikes be kind of annoying. I think spikes get blocked by block though. Hope that's true. We'll see. Big attacks. Cool. Is the damage stacked on top of? Oh, so it was on the y-axis. So it does expand down. It's now blocking out my my beautiful little shiv there, but that's fine. A winner is us. What's this? A lance. Oh boy. Deals 11 damage to all enemies. It costs more on its second use. Huh. It also does piercing. Goes through armor. Huh, that's very, very cool, though they can only use it twice in a turn. Less cool. There are probably various ways to boost its strength and also to maybe reset its energy cost or lower its energy cost. More food's nice. Little dagger, various cleavers. Yeah, nothing we need right now. Okay, so what is this? 5 XP. Cool. I'll raise some cash money. To get there, though, I have to go fight. Sure. Hello, defender guy. Hello, weak guy. Hello, static guy. Hey, friend Volo. Volo, thank you for the resub. 62 months of tier 3. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Hope you're having a great day, though. Seriously, thanks for being here. I gotta go through the defender first, so we'll go through the defender first. Neither of these damaging us at all, though the weak is going to make us produce less physical going forward. And we'll poke you with the little one, which is this one. Okay. Okay, you're at 5. You're at 7. You're gone. Do a quick heal. And there's turn. So again, these are going to go down next turn. But this turn we can use all of our attacks. What's this? We'll deal 4 vampirism. And 6 poison. I have no idea what vampirism is yet, and I can't pull up a card for this guy, unfortunately. So we're gonna learn about vampirism. I'm assuming it's something like when I attack, he gets health back, or When he attacks, he gets health back, something like that for 4 turns. Maybe. Okay, so Vampirism actually didn't show up underneath our little character here. So I'm guessing it made just a one-time attack where he took 4 of our health, possibly. They didn't quite see there. Oh, another tilted sword. Yeah, some of you were talking earlier about replacing the tilted sword, but it's our best friend forever. We're keeping that one to the end game. What's this? A dodge potion. 2 uses of adding 1 dodge. So it can be used multiple times in one fight, so it is better than the Rogue's Mask for a single fight. But the Rogue's Mask resets its dodge over and over and over again. That's cool. Hello to you, Woolbees. Greetings from the UK. Good morning to you from Tokyo. How's it going? Hope you're having a lovely day. Thanks for being in the channel. It's lovely to have you here. That's right, lovely. That's the word I use. If we had an open slot to get a little more healing, that'd be cool, but I think we're fine. Let's continue along again. Did my subscription notification not pop up? For Volo? I believe it did. Are you trying to give Volo a second subscription? I can resub Volo again. You can see the big old tier 3 if you want to. Alright. More money! More money! Great. So we've dealt with all the fights but one so far. Hey, Woolbees, hello friend, and thank you for the fine follow. I appreciate that very much. You're still in the game, you didn't even notice it? Yeah, it's tier 3. So it's the one where I tie a tie into my head and dance in a circle, I believe. Surely the greatest of all possible sub-emotes, that one. Again, Woolbees though, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that a whole bunch. Glad you're enjoying hanging out with us today. Okay, I very much want to go to the store. There actually are 2 stores here. I'm hoping they buy that fly for big money. Locked chests. So those of you who know the game well, is there any trick for finding keys? Or is it totally random? Because the number of locked chests we're finding compared to the number of keys we're finding, namely more than 0 and 0, aren't quite adding up. Hello to you, Rare Hermit. You'll buy a fly for... Yum! I'll be taking that. Okay, I clicked it. And he took it immediately. I don't know if I got any money for it. It didn't show a value, and then I clicked it, and surprise, it's his. So, who knows, who knows. Hey, it's a crossbow. Hey, it's a crossbow. Cool. This is an axe I've not seen before. The Orc Sork Axe. For every adjacent item, does 1 damage. No, sorry, any adjacent item gets 1 damage. And then when you use it, it does 4 damage and gets gold. This is similar to the cleaver we used in very early game, where the kill gave us 1 health back. But I like that it buffs everything nearby to it. Do I like enough to buy anything? Surely not. Another fancy wand? No shit for sale. I guess I'll leave the one little opening here and fill it up with something eventually. So thank you, Frogman. Let me know if you see any more tasty flies, he says. Yeah, I wonder if there's an achievement for getting flies, or if it lowers prices, possibly? Tasty Fly gives you a 50% discount in shop. Now, is that just for that one shop, which say I wasted that item? Or is that for all shops for all of time? I suspect it was just that one time and I wasted it. Okay, welcome to some binary. I'm sure one of you can read this at once. Beep boop, beep boop. The wall splits open. Inside you can see a vast abyss. Green eyes peer in. You recognize them as the eyes of a predator. Strange sounds echo from the place and an offer is made. A rare item for a curse. Nope, I'm good, thanks. The eyes are watching us. They show no sign of emotion. Beep boop, beep boop. Somehow the code is talking to me. What are the upgrades Badger offers this time? More slow, energy and clothing. Region on ring could be cool, I guess. We do have 2 rings we're using right now. I think both of them have an open slot still. So let's do that. I'm more likely to keep the Beast's ring more often. However, it has no open forge slots. This one, also no open forge slots. Never mind. We could go for more slow on a weapon. I think it's slow reduces the amount of armor a character gets, I think. Haste is the opposite. So we could do that, but I'll just save my money for now. Thank you for helping, Badger. Appreciate your time. Another unknown event. What do you want to trade? So again, it's just offering a trade for a different item of the same rarity. Like I said previously, this feels so risky. I'm guessing if you have some really garbage legendary item and you're hoping it's something better, it would make sense, but I don't know how to think about this. There are too many items. Maybe someday. Maybe someday. Alright, one last fight. The robber in the back end. So he's going to steal my cash money. I can't have that. So I think we just want to hurry our way through these 2 guys, and it seems like it's definitely doable this turn. So we cannot kill the hair defender with damage over time. So let's just do big attack, then 12 damage. How do we get to 12? 8 plus 4, 9 plus 3, yes sirree. Cool. And this fine fellow can die of dots, of course. That's 3. 3 plus 14 is what we need. Okay, so 9. Attack you. Resets. Did 5 damage now. 4 plus 1, good. More than we need to do. And that's exactly right. Exactly right. Fantastic. I need to get a calculator app of some sort so I can do the math faster. Okay, we'll put this here again. So we'll not be able to cast healing again, but we'll be at full health as this round ends. And then he'll be attacking us for less than our current block, so we're good to go on that. Whichever you initially suggested I should try the Shiv build, thanks. For first playthrough, this has been far, far, far more productive than I thought it would be. Also, we did more than 117 damage. That's silly. Absolutely silly. So we can upgrade one of our mana stones here from 2 of 2 to 3 to 3. The advantage of that is it gives another turn of our bird chant going, which gives us 6 block every single turn. It might be sensible to have 2 separate mana networks. One that gives us the block, and then one that keeps our healing item up and going. I'm not quite sure. This mechanized toy which destroys items, I love the idea of, but I'm terrified of. Then various basic cleavers and a poison ivy. Every combat you poison yourself, but poisons an enemy forever, even more. That could be very strong with the double poison potion here, but I think we're good. Take them to sell. Take the rear to sell. It's not a bad idea. Alright, just no combat between now and then. Alright, hello to you, Merchant Man. I shouldn't say Merchant Man. Sorry, Merchant Frog Guy. How much money? It's worth 10. Hey, we're rich. A metallic mask. When you take damage, you get dodge. So because we have lots of block, that's not useful at all for this build, but that's crazily cool. Crazily. What is less than crazily cool, friends, it's time for a little ad break. So during our ad breaks here, we're going to do some crossword. Should be good. Back in 3 minutes or so, and we'll return to our game straight away. Now, I believe we still have the Friday New Yorker from last week because I didn't stream on my Saturday. So let's go ahead and knock that out real quick, and then we'll get back to our game presently. Okay. Friday, June 9th by Paulo Pasco, one of those ever popular crossword makers. It's a Friday, it should go fairly quickly. Let's see. Above ground is lava, as underground is magma. Second highest ranking card in the game, Puswa Dos. I do not know. I do not know at all. With being 3 letters, it could be Uno. There's no Uno card though. So maybe Ua, the king possibly. Is that in Spanish? I think it is. Eat a way out, probably a road. Fully committed into. Let's look at the down, see what it is. Permission asking question, probably may I. Potato in Indian cuisine. I believe that's a lu, though I'm not certain on that. Overabundance, possibly gobs. 2021 Best Picture nominee starring Steven Yeun and Yeon Hyu Jung. I have no idea, unfortunately. So, fully committed. Along, possibly? That seems strange. Lust Caution, Director Lee. It's Ong Lee. I think something is wrong in here. It's probably Gobs is incorrect. All in. All in. Line on the bill above the total. Not here. Good old tip. Age on the vine, maybe. Ripe in. High school romance, say. Fun, period. What is fun? Oh, Fun. Fun's a band. I love Fun. Is it Young Love? Probably. Word following home or bed. There's home base. There's not a bed base. What's the down? Many trauma nurses workplace. ERs. So, following home. Home stand? Bed stand, yes. Home stand is the part of a sports season where you play multiple games at home. Greek letter between theta and kappa is iota. The short version is... not sure. Tripoli's country. I don't know. Yeah, glut's a good word. No, glut for overabundance is wonderful. I think the most common usage of glut is oil glut, though I'm not sure on that. This is really Rotzi. No, it's not. Uh-oh, something's wrong. Bunches and bunches is not Rotzi. So it's probably a ton. In which case, maybe it's just ace. Oh, it's tax. Is there a tip? Sorry. So LeBron James from the Cavs. Shakespearean stage direction for departing characters. It's exunt, I believe. Exant? I think that's right. We'll see in a moment. Moreno of 80 for Brady. I assume it's Reader Moreno. Possible point of entry for a cat burglar. Probably open window. So homestand and bedstand are not correct. Emotionally numb, hyperbolically. Dead inside. Part of a rom-com where the main characters finally kiss, perhaps. Homestead. Bedstead? Bedstead. I don't know Bedstead. Character played by Janelle in Glass Onion. Successfully eject the imposters in Among Us. Hey, it's about video games. It's really win. Ending, I assume, is the part where people kiss in the rom-coms. Great. The short version is in sum. Part of an anatomical cage, the rib cage. Pester persistently, probably nag. Then we get this long one to go here. Meet up while everyone's home for the holidays, perhaps. Song by Sister Sledge. Genuinely no idea. Craze such as silly bands or fidget spinners. Those are fads. Same again, please. One more? Host of Netflix show Sparkling Joy. This is Marie Kondo. That's not how we spell her name. The ad break is over though, so we can get back to our game. So, family something. Probably family gathering, I assume is Sister Sledge song? Or no? That's enough for now. A good start. Making progress. Love it, love it, love it. We'll have one more crossword time at the end of today's stream. Streams went by fast today. It's been the first, hour and a half, 2 hours on slideshow time. Was definitely a big consumer. I gotta end early today because we're streaming, or I'm teaching. Like I said, this item is amazing. If we're taking any damage ever, getting a free dodge would be cool. We do have the open slot, so that could be very, very useful, like as an emergency item to have. Clean burn. Played on an item. Unused removes 100% of all stats based on self. Items that are played on are destroyed. So you cleanse yourself but lose one item. I think we'll leave the open slot for now. So let's make a deal. We're good. We can then continue on to the Forge once more. Back out again. Hello, Crafter. 47 money. This might be the richest we've been in a very long time. The only thing we could do is slow to a weapon. I guess. We have 3 open slots still on this sword, so we'll keep piling there. It's free energy on a clothing, unfortunately. And I don't think I have any clothing. I think it's all armor, unfortunately. I would love to have that free energy, but even the shoe hat is armor. Okay. Let's go to floor 3. Time to fight a boss. The finale of Frozen Heart. Oh wow. This is the first time we've ever seen this kind of floor. And there's 2 things to click on, so the Dark Lady or an unknown event. I wonder if the Dark Lady is the final boss. Hello. Things there happening. So, Dark Lady, electric energy flows through her body. She has 380 HP. Behind her appears to be like a writhing mass of possibly snakes and wings, maybe? So she can attack 3 times and then do 2 freeze. I do not know what freeze is yet. It has a tremendous amount of health, so I guess we're just gonna do as much damage as we possibly can, and then eventually double the poison and hope for the best. I hope freeze doesn't make it so we can't do anything for 2 turns. We'll find out. We'll find out. Oh, interesting. I just now realized that... Never mind. I just now realized that the coal can reset the Rogue's Mask. It can only be used 1 time in combat, though, so I'm not sure if that counts as a reset. Whichever way, we could have 2 dodge in the future. Okay, let's learn what freeze is now. Alright, freeze. We'll receive 2 additional damage when attacked. So if we're attacked at all, independently of what goes through our block, we'll take damage. What's this? Malediction. When your turn ends, replace with Malediction. Adds 2 poison to self when used. Okay. Not quite sure what that means, but okay. So we're up to 10 poison, no armor, 15 burn. So knock me to a kill even if I double the poison. However, it'll set up rather nicely for the next one. So go ahead and use you. Okay, you can skip an item for 10 damage. I'll just put it in the slot there and hopefully ignore it. Oh, it's a malady. Sorry, the malady now will become a malediction at the end of this turn. But will there be another turn? Kinda thinking no. What do you mean phase 2? What do you mean phase 2? Shoot. I was so proud of myself. Like, holy cow, we're doing so much damage. We're able to finish the fight all at once. Alright, welcome to phase 2. Fine. So, a malediction again. And then another enemy is coming also. Alright. Yeah, I definitely clicked through on this for no good purpose. Alright, alright. So what's this thing do now? On use, creates 2 maladies in adjacent or diagonal spaces. It then destroys itself. When an item in the row is used, you get 1 poison. Okay, so for the future, we know places in places where we will not use the thing at all. Because definitely put them in place where my sword is. That's kind of important to me, but okay. There are 2 cultists now. One of them is going to be casting a curse, and one's casting a rage on everyone for 1 more damage. And we are still allowed to select her. The 10 vampirism, I believe, means here comes some healing on herself. She's still about 500 health. That one will heal up some more. She's also going to summon some more enemies. So part of me is thinking ignore the ads. Though I don't want curses, so... No ignoring ads. No. It's too much damage. Okay, so 5 damage. Little baby 1, which you. Well, I can't remember where I put the baby one is. Well, can't find it, so there we go. And then, I wonder if I dodge this turn. If it'll dodge the vampirism. Kind of doubting it, but we'll see. Yeah, I believe we just dodged vampirism, so it counts as being a physical attack. Great. Again, a raged person. So this increases their damage by 1. She's going to summon someone again. As long as she can't summon a defender, that'd be fine. So we are self-poisoning. I think I feel okay about just going all in on her. Just curse friends. Awesome. So she's in poison sickness. That means she will die of poison and fire next turn. I think. Unless it's a phase 3. No phase 3. Very good. We gotta level up. So I guess that's not the end of the whole place. I can open 3 of them. I kind of want to just open 3 down here. Only 2, actually? It's only 2, actually. But more space, more good. Oh, that is the end of the game. So you level up into nothing. There you go, friends. Apparently we won 1 round of this game. Cool. What a very, very cool game that is. And you can see all the fine stats. All the items we saw. All the energy we gained. It was a nice time going through. If we want to, we can get a windmill. Every turn, get 1 extra energy. It takes up 3 slots. Or a tusk. All weapons get 5 damage. And on use, something is anchored for 2 combats. What is something is anchored? You can't move the weapons for 2 combats, so you're locked in. Oh, are we going to reset and everyone's harder now? Maybe so. Because if we're allowed to put more items in. The Spring Gem decreases the cost of all adjacent weapons to 0 energy. However, you can't use them for 1 turn. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Okay. I think I'm going to take the all weapons get more damage and just lock it all in place there. Oh, it's only 2 wide. I'm sorry. I thought it was 3 wide. That's fine then. Okay. Now, does it unlock it for next time through, or how's this work? How does this stuff work? What's here? We found some cheese. The holy cheese. Your whiskers twitch. There it is, the golden cheese. With delicious food, many new villagers will flock to Orderia. The end? Or is it? So you can continue in endless mode if you want to, or push new game. Again, I think you're absolutely right. It's good seeing you. We only have an hour, so I'll try a new game. We probably will not finish all the way through. I'd love to have a different kind of build than just fun little shivs. You decide to start again for a new challenge. There are multiple characters? Wait, so there are rat people and frog people? And what are you? Like robo-rats? And birds? And oh, are these like rescue rangers for people's youthful desires? I believe so. There are a ton of characters, so I assume there were just a ton of different items for different builds, but also different characters too. Oh boy, rescue rangers all the way. So the rat person is trying to storm the dungeon, rebuild the village, and save her family. Apparently you can look like some avatar, carrying the pure force of the eye with you. The frog person, banished by the elder frogs, her backpack is blessed by the dreaming tree. Magical carvings spawn each turn she's in danger. Oh, so there actually is a different playstyle also on each one. The robots, when you can't find a hero, you gotta make one. CR8's a mismatch of metal and nerd stuff that will take care of any enemy automatically, provided its circuitry is properly organized. So like the duplicant, I think, in Slay the Spire. There's then the bird, son of a noble bird on the road, run from an evil crow king, Corvus. With his bag ripped and his town captured, Satchel seeks the help of other heroes and discover the mystery of the Spiral of Feathers. And lastly, Pochette, or Pocket. Raised in the dungeon by a family of hermit crabs. She's more comfortable with pets than strangers. It's a magic frog, Beep Boop robot, bird who I don't know what they actually do. Bird things. Oh, defect. Thank you, Study. Defect, not replicant. And lastly, rescue rangers. I'm gonna try the bird. I'm gonna try the bird, see how this goes. And I think this bird's carrying a book. So book bird, go. Oh wow. And there are tons of different ways to play. So standard runs basic with no settings. Classic Matthew. Start the game from Matthew. I don't know who that is. Easy mode. Endless Dream. Enemies will never poison the player, etc. 5x7. You have to have a smaller backpack. Glass cannon. Max health is 1. Another way. No standard items. No weapons or bows, etc. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Builderbird. Wow. Oh, last one thing. Oh wait, what'd I do? I pushed the wrong button. No, run away. I don't want this. This is not what I want. I meant to go back to look at the names of the characters to see if they all were named for kinds of bags. Yeah, the last one's in fact Pocket. Is that right? Oh, Pocket, I see. Pocket, Satchel, Crate, ha ha ha, Tote, and Purse. Oh, that's funny stuff. So come along and satchel the bag. I think we're just going to do standard here. What does Builder Bird mean? Energy starts at 1, increase each turn. No standard items. You start with making a building in your bag. Huh. I'll just take normal, we'll see what build. Alright, so we begin with a Feather Shiv. For each Feather Shiv in our pocket, gain damage. Wait. So, is the bird intended to be played as Shiv? Got a little shield and a flute. Adds 5 charm to an enemy. Huh. I don't want to do Shivs again. I'll try to get away from Shiv as fast as I can. What is charm though? If the enemy has more charm than health, they'll fight for the player. Okay, the crypt or the bramble. Let's try the crypt. Haven't seen that one before. The vision of danger. Who are we fighting? A bee. I've not seen the bee before. Is that bee wearing a crown? Is it the queen bee? Possibly. Chest number... Oh, a mimic. I thought it was chest 1, but no. So the flute does nothing for us other than potentially building up charm to have him fight for us. Now, does fight for you continue after this battle? Or do they only fight for you in the context of battle? Like, may I take Crabman with me if it gets health lower than our charm higher than its health? Only current battle, okay. So, shields up, attack, attack. No more use this turn. You can only attack once per turn? Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Attack. Shield, shield, shield. Oh, it pacifies them. Oh, okay, okay. So if you fight them with the flute, then they will stop fighting. I understand now. So the flute makes sense now. So I thought before the flute was only if other people to fight. I thought you'd eventually have to kill everyone you're against. But in that case, fluting is definitely better. Here comes the curse. If you're still cursed at the end of combat, it's your cursed item. We're getting a cursed item. Fun. So flute, flute, flute. Welcome to my side. He gives up now? Hey, very cool. Now we know how it works. Apologies for not understanding that initially. What's this thing? Oh! So this backpack you build instead of unlocking pieces and parts. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you pick one of the two. Okay. I have absolutely no idea. Like, once I understand more about the items in the game, I see how you build this thing out, but... Sure looks good. Sure looks good. Which curse do we want? So the Shamisen, how dare you, adds 7 charm to an enemy. When an item kills an enemy, adds exhaust. So don't kill with items. Kill with dots maybe. Possessed pot. And heavy makes potions in the bottom row. Or Kotori Bako. Must be put on an item when your turn ends. Deal 2 damage to self. On use, items played on are destroyed. Well, that's no fun. I don't know how to think about any of these curses. Man, curses are terrible. I guess we'll go all in on charm. Sure. Okay, so don't kill things, charm things. Great, what's this? The triangle. Each turn when active adds 3 charm to all enemies. On use is activated. Clearly yes. And then the harp also. Okay. This is each turn adds more charm. Oh yes, pure charm per charm. No killing, only charming. And, okay, it's not an open slot there. It's actually a closed slot. No, it's actually an open slot. I can only take 3 items, though. I took 3. Sounds good. What's up, Daigle? Good seeing you, my friend. Okay. Let's see if we can charm our way through this one. This fellow's gonna throw a fire into our inventory. Can't have that. So, activate you. Boop. Okay, and then 7 charm. We can block, which will block most of the damage. Charming it is based on how much health they have, correct? More charm than health, they'll fight for me, so no. Got a fire. Your turn ends, creates fire in adjacent or diagonal space, adds 2 burn to self, or when an item behind is used, add burn. Okay. Okay, so I can destroy it by just clicking it once. Or we hope it stays out of the way enough that it won't need to use these things. I have to 13 on the front one. This adds 5, this adds 7. Great. Welcome to Team Resorty. Now, he's not defending, so Buddy can still attack either one of us, I suppose. So I'll shield up just in case. He chose me very well. And so we're not going to be able to use whatever this is, but I don't recall what it is, so we don't need it. I think it's an open slot, actually, so good. One more and he'll join us. Doot. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Team Resorty. Heck yes. We took too much damage that turn, or that fight, but that went okay anyway. What characters have I played before? I've only done the tutorial. Yeah, our tutorial, we won the game, and then this is our first time playing the actual game, I suppose. It's, I didn't expand my bag. I just pushed the dumb button like an idiot. Who needs leveling up? Not this guy. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. No worries, no worries. Everything's fine. Don't you worry, team. The stacking star. Nope. I'll probably take more charm, more fun, I suspect. Though, wouldn't it be nice to have, you know, more inventory spaces? I guess we can junk our dagger. Like, if we're gonna try to just do charm, there's no reason to have that at all. And we don't exactly need... Yeah, there's no particular reason to have the flute. I think. If I got rid of that and that, what would I want? So this would give us a Shrike-in, but it's again damage dealing. Possibly more shields. So this gives 10 block instead of 7 block. If I'm using it just one time in a combat, then this one's preferable. 2 times, less so. Try that instead. Or is there a way to have both of them, actually? No. If only someone that expands inventory. Another shield also good. And then flute come along. Sure, looks good, looks good. As again, the exchange an item for a curse. Nah, we're good, thanks. The most funny ones to play are the rat and the Pokemon trainer. Cool. I'm sure I'll try them eventually. But no, I haven't played enough yet to have any really strong feelings about this game. Other than, I've enjoyed myself so far. Alright. Activate. And then shields up. Take a little bit of damage, it's okay. Up to 9 already. This one is much faster to get on our side, so 16, 23. Welcome. Okay, so I think it's the case that if this fellow's health were to get over top of my charm somehow, I don't know how that would happen, he'd probably switch back to the other side. For right now... Oh, you know what? The shamisen does not cause exhaust or damage to me if one of my allies kills. That makes sense. Makes sense. So we just want to shield up beyond the 8. And then do more charm, more fun. Cool. Welcome to the good side. Glad you're here. This time we'll actually level up correctly. What? Pushing buttons correctly? I don't think so. It says choose 2 spaces. Take that one though. Wait, why does it choose 2 spaces? And it says choose 1 space, but it switches back off. Huh. Maybe this counts as 2 spaces somehow. I have confusion. Whatever, let's do this one. We continue with the harp, which is auto charm. Sure. What's this thing? The swamp buckler adds block equal to 100% of current poison. Love it. Love it. Okay. Continue with triangles. It's only 3 charm per turn. It hits everyone though, super strong. So let's do that. And then battle ring does more damage. Nah. What do you do, little brick? Every structure, add more blocks. What? Floor 1's done. Health's not great. Gotta find some way to generate more health. But there's some characters we can charm that'll heal us up some. Speaking of more health. Now this thing is sleeping. And I think that characters wake up when you walk into the same row or column as them. So we can get the health, but then we'll also be fighting more or less straight away. Oh. Do I have to charm bosses to death? Oh boy. Oh boy. Hello to you, Frogman. What you got? A Git Fiddle. So it adds 3 charm per use. Oh, it's free. It's free. I couldn't figure out why it was better than the flute. Because it's 2 to everybody. It would be 3 on 1 target. Also, Cursed Whetstone. You curse yourself, but adjacent weapons get double bonus damage. Craziness. Craziness. We could just keep stacking the triangles forever and always. If we didn't have to turn them on, it'd be so good, but... thinking not of using that. Yeah, I'm gonna remove 1 triangle to have the free 3, I believe. Hey, Mac Apple, how's it going? Cool. I like the health very much. I'll get that after I've cleared the other enemies, though, I think. Yo guy, no. 3 enemies, one of whom does steal my junk. Can't have that. So, turn on, shield. 3. My poor sweet health. I was gonna run away. We can't have that, so we need to do another 9, which is 7, 5. 5 plus 3 is 8. That's fine. I can't do math. Good stuff. Welcome to our team. They're all just shielding up so we can go ahead and hit Shamisen. The Rat Runner still ran away with my money. All right. Lesson learned. Lesson learned. Okay, we need to block 16, so you and you, free buddy. Oh, cool. You can ignore their armor. It's just health, not health plus block. That's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. Oh, I did get the money back? Okay. So they gave me the money back despite running away like a coward. Cool. Watching the enemies bounce from side to side. Good. What do we see here? We need a glove here. A left climbing glove. For each pocket that has space to the right, get 1 block. Cool. Also add some block. I like block. I like free block very, very much. But the guitar gains 3 free charm each turn. It really is the targeted versus the other. I'm gonna even get rid of. Do you want to get rid of a shield even? Because I've enjoyed setting them both up. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the flutes. I think the 7 charm is just straight better. And then another get fiddle. Good. What do we get? A key. Oh, if only I had more inventory. Our first time ever seeing a key. And having more armor would be cool also, but nope, no inventory. Gotta keep it all. Hello, my friends. So this guy's gonna throw some goo into our inventory. When turn ends, the item behind the goo can't be moved for 2 turns. That's fine. And you're gonna do 12 damage. Alright, can I get up to 50 this turn? So 6, and then 3 casts of this. So 21 plus 6 is not 50, unfortunately. I have to shields up. Guess let's do both of those. Turn on one of you. Okay, next turn the bee will come over. Don't mind locking things in place at all. Okay, can we get 40 more this turn? Oh, you can't use that. Oh, you can. Okay, you can't click on the spot where the honey is, but you can click on the spot next to it. That's good to know in the future, that you can't click on the spot where the item is, maybe. We're only at 16 right now. We're not going to get move those turns. We'll block up again. The little bee got healed up, shifted over, then came back. I wonder why it came back over. Like, so it shifted to my side because it had more charm than HP, but why did it shift here for a second? I'm not sure. Still not sure on these things. Oh, the charm decays, and then it came back over because I recast. Understood. Alright, some Talon boots. Reach pocket space above, plus 3 block. Lucky Shiv. Use 1 time each turn. Adds great luck if it gets a kill. None of these seem very charming, unfortunately. So, sure, we're fine. I'm feeling so much less sure about, so much less sure about this playthrough than the last one. I think I should go get the health now at another 20. That should wake up this character also. And I guess let's go fight it. The Repsecutioner. You get 14 experience for defeating him. Adds spikes to himself. When he takes damage, a spike drops off. These lizards are known for their legendary fighting skills. With 18 damage straight away. So stack. I agree the boots have been passive block. I don't know where I would put it though. Maybe I could have gotten rid of one of my my guitars. Yeah, I'm just not sure. 15 damage again, oh lord. Okay. So we're gonna have a curse. That's exciting. And the cursed item will follow us from place to place forever. 18 damage, that's 2. We're all gonna die. It's been fun. I've had a nice time. They do quite a bit of damage, don't they? So we lost basically all the health that we got from that earlier pickup. Level up though, glorious. Alright, so I'd like to get that boots or something in the future. What a mess. What a mess this is. Which curse do we want? A curse shield. Adds 10 block, however all enemies get dodge. That is fine. That is great, in fact. I don't do any damage. The Evil Hand pulls items closer. If an item cannot move closer, it's destroyed. Why would anyone want that? And then the Red Ribbon Rapier. When you use it, deals 10 damage. However, it hurts yourself. If you take any damage, it's disabled. So this is just like to be ignored in your inventory, I guess. Okay, I think I would like to take the Curse Shield. Assuming I'm reading that correctly, it's actually not a problem for our particular build. I think. Hit a big spot, but with that, we no longer need this shield. The dice. Use it, reroll combat rewards. Little bow. Could take the auto harp, adding 2 more charms straight away. Or musical gem. Adjacent diagonal instruments get 1 more charm. Time to start organizing our inventory around more charm on all the musical instruments. These are drums, so the triangles do get +1. Oh man. I would like this so much. How do we organize for that? Okay, thinking of getting rid of the shield. And then that's very strong. That's even stronger. Do you have to take the Curse Shield? No, you can leave it behind, but it will apparently follow us forever and always then. And always consume 1 item that you might want. You're absolutely right, we could just do that. And, well, it's not perfect, it's about as strong as we can get right now. It'd be fine with having it over here if I could just get 1 more tile there. Yeah, eventually put something here and then shift this up. And this up. Seems good. Okay, put you here and you here. And then 1 more slot. What are you? Drumsticks! Adjacent drums get 1 charm. Huh. Unfortunately, my only drums are these 2 triangles right now. Move the Cursed Guitar down? Wait, why is that preferable? In both cases, the only 1 triangle is being hit. Hey, I don't see the appeal there, unfortunately. Okay, the drumsticks would be cool. Unfortunately, it's only 1 spot actually. Never mind. Then these get 5 every single turn after I turn them on. And do we give up that shield then? Guess we do. Guess we do. Alright. Good. Gonna be amazing. One open slot. Merchant, what you got, my friend? Hello? Okay, so the merchant doesn't have the cursed shield with him. For 2 energy, 5 charm to all enemies, and any adjacent drum is activated. So turn this thing on. These both turn on also. Oh, golly. Oh, this is expensive. 35 money. So, my inventory just took down. I need a little more money. Sell the Manstone? Thank you. Okay, I know I want you, definitely. So these are drums. This is a drumstick. I put it there. Oh, it's only adjacent. This is adjacent also. It's not diagonal, unfortunately. But being able to turn on the other ones for free, so good. Unfortunately, everything else is not super great anymore. So these are free 2 every turn. So 2, 4, 6 auto. This is 7 auto. That's because of the drumstick and the gem, but it also turns on these, which is another 6 as well. I think this is stronger than any of this. Do I prefer... I'd love if I can get a spot open here to move this to there, but not yet. Do I prefer getting an increase on the target guitar or on the hit everybody? I think the hit everybody is preferable. We are leaving behind so many items to set up. Is there anything I can do differently? No, there's just not space. So, farewell, harps. Oh, I've loved you. I won't take more items. You won't buy everything? What? I think it's probably going to be somewhat better, but that's fine. We'll see how this goes. I get attacked by quite a bit, so definitely want to hit this first. So next turn, I'm going to be good. Shields up. Time to take some damage. Huh. So though we got 16 out into the second turn, we have to survive the first turn just to do anything. Cool. Cool. Good. Yeah, passive armor would be very, very good. So is this passive armor? Each pocket of space to the right would be great, because it is free. Okay, so that's going to give us 3 block, plus 1 for every pocket with space right. I don't know what the word pocket means, unfortunately. Oh, am I not supposed to be combining these? Well, I don't know. They have plus 1 each pocket. With space to the right. Okay, I put it over here. Okay, over here, nothing happens. A pocket is a square in the backpack. Okay, so here I'm getting +1 because it's just the one there. To put it here, it's +1 also. Okay, if I put this in this corner, we then get somewhat more, right? Nope. It's only 3. Now, maybe this means immediately to the right. So I think that this one here would be 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. It's only giving 1. I don't know. I don't know. I like healing. I have no mana. It's okay though. Or this is adjacent. Only adjacent. Yeah, so this will not help us at all. Unless this is also adjacent. Man, no diagonals. No diagonals on any of these drumsticks, unfortunately. So gotta really, really open up around that spot. No, for now we'll bring you along. Used eventually. And you too. Alright. Got some more gold. Oh, interesting. That spot that was marked as here the dungeon's collapsing. I didn't know what to do, but it makes you pick left or right. You can't do both. So I don't know what we missed at the left there. I wasn't looking too closely. Maybe switching the drumstick to the triangle might be better. Oh, I see what you're talking about. That's a good idea. Because that way, you can hit 2 of the triangles. They're just 1. Now this one is not getting the bonus from the drum kit, but it could be good if I turn it on. Cool. All right, burn to weapon, weapon, weapon. I don't think my instruments count as weapons. They're just drums. I come in peace. I can get conductive to an armor. That would help us move magic stuff around more easily, but again, don't really see that happening. So, thanks for the visit. We somehow made it to our floor. To the crypt. Do we beat one boss with this build? I have a suspicion. Here's the Queen Bee. Hello, Queen Bee. So she's gonna summon some buddies. The Queen Bee commands the armies. This is fine. This is fine. Rush to 105. Her buddies join me immediately because we hit more than 16 autocast. Cool. So these are gonna decay, but they have 3 more turns. I'm very, very glad I blocked up because she attacked me instead of her friends. Though the poison will be getting us bit by bit here. So that's, you know, fun. Fun we call it. I think we're good. Come to me, children. Come to me all. Holy cow. It really is, if you can just survive a couple rounds, the fights are just over. Cool. Alright, a conductive thing. A spice, consumables gain rage. Or shields gain more spikes. I mean, could be cool, but I don't think I need any of those. Rejecting end of level items. Hello, healer person! I just need healing. We also have a cursed item we could try to cleanse. Oh, you can only do 1. You can't spend multiple turns with her. Goodbye to you, beloved. We then receive a lantern, which will be used to burn curses. Darts. Sheet music. Instruments in the column gain 1 more charm. Oh boy. Oh boy. And then another adorable little triangle. I just need to level up so I can add more stuff in. Alright, who needs healing? Not us. Yeah, only a much, much taller area. Cool. Next up, the Deep Cave or the Enchanted Swamp. I've done the swamp before. Let's go ahead and do the Deep Cave this time. Last time we found so many frogs. Another event. I've not seen this before, I don't think. Oh, that's not true. We can add a forge slot to something with the Old Smith. It's free, though. That'll be good, good, good. And I don't know if you can actually forge your drums at all. I haven't seen anything to an instrument yet, so you probably put it onto a shield or an armor or something. Is the glove still giving only 3? It is. Yeah, still plus +1. I don't exactly understand how it's working, but you missed some at least. Oh, I got some more XP. Only 5, unfortunately. Gold 2. And what's here? The boss here will be Mighty Panda Warrior, it looks like. We'll see. Hey, brother, have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us as always. I'm glad you enjoyed the opening slideshow of Osaka. It was a good time. See you, brother. Okay, this is a tremendous amount of damage. This is way too much damage. Okay, if I just shield twice, that's pretty good, isn't it? Yeah, shielding twice seems like a good idea. And then we'll do a tiny bit for now. Then hopefully next turn we can drum kit. Okay, shield again. Yeah, passive block. Passive block is what we're missing for sure. Oh man. Oh, is that GG? It's not quite. Oh wait, why did I do that? I could have recruited one over and damaged, lowered the amount of damage coming in. Oh, this is not good. In fact, the opposite of good. Still alive, somehow. So I most want to have additional slots next to the big drum. And so this one would give me 3 next to it. Unfortunately, the diagonal doesn't count. So I'm going to take this because it's easier for me to think about. And that will also then give us another spot next to the lovely little gem there. So I'll move more items. Heck yes, more items. Okay. And then you are the salami. Good old salami. Eat it one time, lower some max HP. That's not a good idea, I think. So I can move the sheet music to here. The drumstick then, I don't quite know what I want to do with that. Okay, I think I want to put this behind instead. Maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, drums are not instruments. Drums are not instruments, unfortunately. So only this is increased by the sheet music. Definitely take some food stuff here. Tasty, tasty. That's fine. Oh, it's fine. It's like a little confusing. Friends, we have an ad break coming about a minute or so. So I think I'm going to say goodbye to this game for right now. Because I am needing to end the stream in about 10 minutes or so. I'd like to spend the last little bit here finishing out today's crossword. So I'm going to save it there. We'll have to come back to it at some point before too terribly long. Probably not tomorrow, but sometime soon, I'm sure. Between now and then, though, we'll just finish out the crossword and then probably say goodbye after that. Yeah, Backpack Hero is a pretty fun game. I'm definitely glad we did that. But let's see if we can finish this one before too terribly long. Produced as an egg, laid, I assume. Implements in hotel room closets. There are often irons there. Settings for parties that might be broken up by RAs. The dorms. Presidents who gave fireside chats, as Franklin Delano Roosevelt's, reversed the progress of. Reversed the progress of. Hooting and hollering, for example. Oh, they're gerunds. It's kind of clue. There's always a moment of what on earth could this possibly be? Oh, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, ing words tend to be gerunds. Nouns that are made into verbs. All right. Reverse the progress of undid. Connect with. Tie to, possibly. Bring home as the bacon is to earn. Blank to repetition, an Ellen Bass poem, probably ode to repetition. Information Age invention by Tim Berners-Lee, USA for Africa. We Are the World, World Wide Web. I think it's something Wide Web. Oh, the World Wide Web. There's a bug. Eek. Friendo, probably pal. Tug of Words channel, I have no idea. This way, let's do the right. House of Leaves, I'm guessing is a teepee. Blank Davis, a title role in a 2013 Coen Brothers film. It's Llewellyn Davis, but I'm really not sure how to spell that. Llewellyn Davis? That's Llewellyn. We'll figure out eventually via crosses. Tug of Words channel within the Game Show Network. Clymer Ralston, whose ordeal is the subject of 127 hours. This guy would cut his own arm off to get out from between two rocks, I think so. Drain is from Soil. Seeping? I don't know. Blank She Blows. Thar She Blows. 24 Across and Others. 24 Across is rib. So it could be bones instead of peons. A question asked by someone in a relationship and answered by the artist in parentheses with the beginning of 1729 and 49 across. Young Family The World. So Fun asks the question, or answers the question with young. I think it's like what, the Tonight song, We Are Young. We are family, we are the world. Okay, so we got the basic joke down before. So it's like, who are we? It's not quite gonna fit though. But I think it ends with we. So AWOL, Nightcrawler star Rousseau. Is it Rene Rousseau? Maybe. Rap Blank 3000, Andre 3000, certainly. Distant poetically is distant. There's near, there's far, wherever you are. Name that reverses to a word for a wanderer. So nomad is going to be the wanderer, so it's Damon. Rock in museum gift shops, geode probably. December 31st for short is New Year's Eve. Type of butter or crumble. No idea. Okay, so here's the downs. Okay, that's enough from me, I'll stop. Same again, please. Another one. Cat-like Pokemon with an appropriate onomatopoeic name. Mew. Like tradition passed on through storytelling. Probably oral. House of Leaves. That's a tea bag. Tea leaves live inside of it. It's a house of leaves. Learn to committing a crime is a trap. Stereotypical, according to my calculations, speaker. That's a nerd. Pirate ship greeting. Good old ahoy. Walking aid, a cane. Source of seeds used for non-dairy milks. Hemp, I assume. Blink Loveless Day, an annual celebration of women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Ada, I believe, Loveless. What are we? Not who are we, but what are we? Oh, right. When you're like in the uncertain situationship stage of a relationship, it's like we have to define the relationship. What are we? You don't want to start an existential crisis by saying, who are we? All right. Drainage from soil is the leech, and distant quickly is yawn. So there you go. There you go. We see here a mouse trying to get through a maze looking for cheese, and then the fine crossword solver also. There you go, team. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed hanging out today. Finishing a few minutes early today, but since I'm teaching something totally new I've never taught before, probably makes sense to go spend a little bit more time in preparation than I normally would. So that's the Monday stream. I hope your weekends have ended up nicely. I hope you are feeling ready for whatever is for tomorrow. Between now and then, I hope you relax, you sleep, you get done what you want to get done. Tomorrow we'll be back with some different game probably. Maybe Stellaris, maybe something else. One never knows. For now though, I appreciate you, I thank you, and I'll see you again real soon. Goodbye, folks.